Hello? Hello? Miss Obama? Miss Obama? Miss Obama in chat? My God, is that Obama? Guess what? Today, guys, we're talking about Fuda and the logistics of whether or not it might be gay. Whether or not it might be gay. That's a very interesting question. You might be wondering, straw man. So, we met a new grifter, a new guy. Where do you stand? Fuda is gay. Fuda is gay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the Fuda bros out there. You might not want to get a dick down by a goddess. If which, by the way, I am gonna play the video you sent me, Chris. Diorio would have a very interesting take. I would love to see Diorio's take, honestly.
This is a certified hood classic.
Diesel, I need you to know that a witness called an officer Trooper Bukake on the stand during a trial. No joke. That is all.
Trooper Bukake presenting to the stands. Yeah, so honestly, in my opinion, you can jerk off the Fuda, but fellas, you might be a little bisexual. I've never been someone who I don't like cock. I don't know how people like cock because I don't like cock. But Synthetic Man feels a bit differently. I think it's really funny that the guy who has a problem with trans people is totally down for Fuda and also may or may not be down for Lolicon. Makes no sense that like that meme where it's like Hitler cunny rapist 1488 and pedophile lover 8008. come together to say the most ridiculous shit on the internet. It's not surprising that Synthetic Man kind of falls into that category of person. FPS penis Diesel 2024. But I figured, if you didn't watch the last stream on Synthetic Man, yeah, he's just a grifter. You can tell exactly who he is. He does the same thumbnails that all those other guys do, right? Shadiversity, Arch Warhammer, The Quartering, you name it. All these guys do the same thing. I need your opinion on something. If you're gonna send me, listen. Considering I prefaced this with the, okay, sure. Let's open up Chris's tweet. How much did we lift today? Honestly, not a lot. I will, Frogan, I wonder how she's doing today. That's nice. Yeah, AI, something in the Industrial Revolution and its consequences. Not surprising. But yeah, I did legs today. I honestly had a hard time working out. I just, I need to take more of a concerted effort for my rest. And I just don't do that. But it's also hot as balls. So there's that as well. I wish nothing but the worst for Frogan, though. Hey, I'll admit it. If you're a cute femboy or femme NB, you got me interested a little. Hey, okay, this is an inclusive community, right? I'll say that. Like you can be down for it, right? It's not me poo-pooing on your parade. I'm just saying, this is what it is. I'm just spitting. My chat window isn't working in OBS. I gotta refresh it or something. And I just closed it by accident because I'm stupid. Let me open that up again. There we go. Boom. Yeah, so I've been tired. You might have, if you're in the server, you might have heard that Hal and I were supposed to do work together this morning. I slept through that. She was not happy about that. Oopsie. How much caffeine did you intake today? Only like a large coffee. So yeah. And yeah, I'll check the newsroom. I want to get through this video. Yeah, there's definitely some more. Oh yeah, the Forbidden Last of Us 2 stream. I might just buy that on stream. He might like strike this or something, but like I'm gonna commentate over it, right? Diesel, if you fix your sleep schedule, you'll never have to let Hal down again. You're not the only person to say that. The Patreon is $1 a month. Thank Christ. When the pierogi stuff happened a couple months ago, I thought it was so funny. I spent $10 and all of a sudden my name's in the fucking credits of this lady's video. Meanwhile, we spent hours upon hours just poo-pooing over everything, right? Like But we'll start out with this Fuda cock video. Just so we can really get into it.
Hood classic.
Thank you, philosopher. I don't know why I didn't read out your DM.
For the cookie jar before you get deep into the topic.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're gonna be getting into it. You know what's worse? What's worse is that, okay, so Hal and I were supposed to do work this morning. But what's funny is that she and I were up until like 4:30 in the morning playing Valorant. Like, it was disgusting.
Slash 724. Number 2 is true.
Wait, what?
Slash 720.
Are you lactose intolerant? Okay. Have you genuinely admitted on stream that you want to get fucked by Fuda Abby? By the way, who's Abby? Who's Abby? Is that like just like a term? Is that like some incel term?
24. Number 2 is true. Number 3 is that's just like it's a stream meme where I said something insane because I got super bored from a game. I mean, me liking Fuda is true though. That part's true.
Okay, so he likes Fuda. This guy, unironically, this man is super transphobic. But the funny part is that he's like, but guys, but Fuda's different. But Fuda's different. Cope. That's just Cope. Like it literally is just Cope. All right. Oh, Abby from Last of Us 2. Really? Really? Abby from Last of Us 2? Like that's like his ultimate dream, Fuda? Like I don't like I'm more annoyed that he wanted Abby Fuda than like it's him liking Abby. What's she look like? Here, I'll pull it up. Hold on. Let me make sure I don't accidentally pull up porn on stream. He said Fuda is the perfect hermaphrodite, and he likes it because he has an addiction to eugenics. That's like, yeah, like he was explaining, because I watched that clip. He's playing that Kira Toriyama game, and he was like, a Fuda is like the perfect representation of an Ubermensch, which makes no sense whatsoever. And is also the most like internet incel speak ever. Anyway, I'm gonna pull up a picture of Abby right now. From The Last of Us. Yeah, the tank one, the new, like that new one. So this is Abby. Right? This is her. Um yeah, I mean like it's not really doing anything for me personally. Um in a non-Fuda sense, right? Assuming there's no peanuts, right? But yeah, so this is the one he wants to have a cock blowing his boy pussy out, okay? So that's who he wants to fuck him. I don't really get it. Also, really surprised that he wants this character from the super woke game to fuck him, which is also hilarious. Anyway, let's just keep going.
I am not attracted to like the disgusting roided muscle girl though. I'm not. No. What do you guys say? No, you already know this. You already know this. You guys already know this. I know a lot of people pop in and out of the streams, but I swear to God, some of you already know this. Yeah, Thugnificent, that you're correct. I mean, it's really not that complicated. It's really not that this.
Simple explanation for since Fuda love is the porn rabbit hole. That doesn't really answer anything either. Okay.
Yeah, Thugnificent, that you're correct. I mean, it's really not that complicated. It's really not that complicated. Any Coomer, if you're actually a Coomer, you go down the porn rabbit hole and just get exposed to more and more extreme shit.
Okay. Whoa, buddy. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So this might actually be the first time I've actually seen like a real life Coomer. I know we make the joke like, oh, Diesel's a gooner, you know, certified freak type shit. There are things I like and things I don't like. I don't venture out of it. I'm not looking for something more. Yeah, I don't doubt he watches way too much porn. But just imagine, like, this guy is home 24/7, lives with his parents, and he's just jerking it, like, 24/7. And he constantly needs more ridiculous versions of pornography to jerk off because he's so desensitized. Like here's the thing, Synthetic Man. If you just start jerking off, if you stop jerking off for like a week, right? And then let's say you get like a fleshlight or something, right? You don't jerk off for a week, and then you just watch, normal porn, whatever normal is, right? There's no such thing as normal in this case, but you watch something that might be along the more vanilla, eclectic taste. You might just find out that your orgasms are better. You might enjoy yourself more if you space yourself out. Now, it's a lot like edging, but instead of just sitting around not coming while jerking off, what you do is you go outside and meet real people. But Diesel, vanilla is for normies. He can't be a normie. It's bad to be a normie. Well, he can even, okay, like he can even go jerk off to, like, I'm not going to get into the details of this.
This
He just
is a
needs to stop.
certified hood classic.
Diesel cranks his soldier boy to goblin footer.
No. I think Fuda is like what I can't. I just can't. Cock is not for me. Sorry to the gay and bisexual homies in chat. I just don't swing that way.
I feel like I've talked about this multiple times before. Actually, I think the first time I talked about this was during the God of War Ragnarok streams. Now that I remember, I'm having like a flashback. But I've talked about the porn rabbit hole stuff before and how I wanted to erase porn from existence.
He wants to erase porn from existence because he has a bad relationship with it. That's it.
Food is just a lame tag. All right, well, how about you? You share your degenerate fetishes then, Nick J. All right, we'll rate them. I'll start a poll in chat. We'll rate your fetishes.
What's that, like, a forum where people like list their fetishes and like talk about sex all the time? There's like a BDSM forum that they do that, and it's like a whole humongous list of fetishes. I'm like drawing a blank. I have more lore about Synthetic Man and trans women / food. I'm trying to find a video associated with it. Can we start a Fuda poll? I mean, can we start a poll? A poll on what? Oh, FetLife. Thank you, FetLife. Holy shit, I can't believe I forgot what FetLife is.
Poor. Fuda and trans are not the same. I know that people think it's cope. People think, whatever. They're not the fucking same.
Synthetic Man is gonna like get into his 30s and then all of a sudden find a man attractive, and it's gonna be a very like enlightening moment for him.
I can't explain why it's attractive.
What do you mean you can't explain why it's attractive? You know what's funny? We had Hal on here, and she gave the Freudian answer for why people might find Fuda attractive, right? Mainly because like I'm gonna give mine, right? And I might be like taking from some whatchamacallit psychologist, but just bro, he's always like, dudes, his mask is just slipping. Here's the thing, right? Here's what I think. I think for men who like Fuda, they're probably bottoms, right? I think for a lot of those men, they find the idea of a penis as like a domineering object. Okay? Stick with me here, chat. This is really insane. Right? So they find like a domineering object. And there is nothing more dominating a woman can do than fucking you in the ass with a cock. This stream is not getting ass. So it is the perfect example of a woman controlling and having power over you to fuck you in the ass. I mean, why would a guy want Fuda if he's not using it? Yeah, they enjoy the female form, right? They enjoy the female form, but also like having a dick, as that's all they've known. So Fuda is a combination of that. I don't think it's that they've all they known. I think psychologically they see it as like an object of domination, right? Or like the Freudian thing that, yeah, I'll read that paragraph above. Or the Freudian thing is that when they were young, they assumed their mother's penis was cut off by their father, which is why they develop animosity with their father as they get older. And they find that the original essence of a woman to be that, right? That's like the Sigmund Freud approach to it, which I guarantee you, and I'm gonna take a guess here. I guarantee you, Synthetic Man's mom was very domineering. I would bet money on that. I would bet money on that. You know why? Because he still watches TV with her. Okay, I think that his mom has a lot of power over him. In one of the Cyberpunk videos, he takes a jab at another YouTuber, Sphere Hunter, and uses her old sex worker name. She doesn't like talking about that period of life, so it means he had to search up for that not safe for work. Yeah, it's emotional incest. Put me in a room with his mom and we'll make a better kid. Basically, Diesel, he was jorking it to her. I believe that. I believe it. But I would bet money that Synthetic Man's mother is a very dominating figure in his life. And I would not be surprised if that has some aspect or impact on why he's such a bottom and might prefer Fuda now.
Can't, because it has to deal with deep psychological issues that I have with women.
It deals with deep psychological issues I have with women. Bro likes it when the women are a bit mean to him, okay? Like,
but the whole
deep
appeal
psychological. Okay, kill that guy in chat with the in-game. Sorry, that just slipped out.
is that it is a biological female with both sex organs. And I don't want to get into detail about this because the writing, the way that it's handled, like the situations, plays a lot into it, you know? Like
the writing plays a lot into it. I mean, again, like, this is like that whole, like, all right, it's probably a woman in a position of power fucking a man in a subordinate position, right? If we're talking like dojins. I'm sexually psychoanalyzing this fucking doomer right now, okay? All right. So let's think about it, right? In dojins, it's going to be a teacher. It's going to be an obasan. It's going to be a mom, an aunt, a woman in a position of power or authority over the other male character that gets fucked. So for him, a lot of what turns him on is the fact that this is somebody who has control over him in an aspect of life, right? Because the way men are is that when they watch or read porn, they're not like taking in both angles. Well, maybe if they're bisexual, but the way men are is that they picture themselves in that situation, right? As them. Diesel, why are you sexually psychoanalyzing another man? Is it because you're bi or repressing? No, it's because I want to scientifically call him gay. Right? So he's explaining, you know, like, oh, these women in position of power definitely sexually arouse him. Yeah, I know he still lives with his parents. He mentioned being a loner and struggling with depression until his 20s. He also had gynecomastia as a child. So he might even have... Wow, that's actually really interesting. So he might even have his own gender identity issues, which might have played into his role of being attracted to Fuda. Diesel is straight, even though he's very bi-coded. The only reason people think I'm bi-coded is because I'm open about my emotions. And straight men just need to be more open about their emotions. Straight men can have relationships with females that are non-sexual, you know, but there's a lot of men that just don't want to do that. You know, so you just need to do it. Like, I don't know what to say, you know? Yeah, I will say living alone in this economy is quite hard. If you ever hear me clicking on this, I have like a little fidget toy. I'm trying to stop, but Diesel is bi in his heart. I don't even know what that means.
I don't want to talk about this. This is a bad conversation.
It's a bad. He wants to actually express these, you know, repressed feelings. He should be talking about these things with a therapist. He might actually find out that he's bisexual. He is a bottom, though. That is not even up for discussion.
But the point is, I don't want to explain it. Never mind. Chat, you seem to forget that in a poll where people answered anonymously if they liked Fuda, it was like 38% said yes. 38%.
You know, okay, here's another thing, right? And I know we're making jokes like, oh, Diesel's bi-coded, right? I know I don't like men. That's just not right. I'm very open about that, right? But I think a lot of guys are a little bit more bisexual than they think, right? So if they're not being pressured by societal values, I think a lot of guys probably would identify more as bi than straight, but because of how society treats men, they decide to identify as straight. But you know, maybe they're only like bi like 2%, so the chances of them ever fucking a dude is like really low, right? The great demon men face is bisexuality. You're so right, you don't even know. I know I'm right. That's why I'm saying this, right? Also, Diesel, a running joke is that there's pictures of video of a lookalike using a dildo, if I recall. He even denied it was him on stream, which is kind of funny. Right? So now I'm sexually psychoanalyzing society. But again, I'm sorry to chat if you wanted to have like listen, if you want to have gay fantasies about me, fine, but just it's not gonna happen. Yeah, being comfortable enough with your sexuality to admit you find a guy hot without finding him attractive is peak. Yeah, there's some guys I can admit that like you're a handsome guy. I'm sure you could get tons of bitches or bros or non-binary hoes, but like, you know, a lot of men don't even want to talk about that. They don't even want to do that, right? You ain't making it easy in that shirt, young man. I'm wearing like a stringer, okay? Because I was in the gym. I fantasize about you having a normal streaming schedule. You know, I set myself a schedule to go live at 7:30. But I got home at 7 today, and then I ate dinner at 8. And then I was just, you know, I was just gestating, you know, so I just need to. Henry Cavill, any day easy. How many race statistics has he dropped? I mean, he's just dropping his sexual fantasies.
Percent of chat. We can run it again. Fuck it. Let's just run it again.
Oh, he's gonna run. He's gonna run the Fuda poll right now.
Is it Fuda on women or men? That is again. That is a big part of it. That's a big part of it. That's what I'm saying. Like the psychological aspect is a big part of it. Again, I'm not gonna talk about the psychology, but
the psychology. I mean, again, I feel like we've pretty much gotten into the psychology of why he likes Fuda. Here, we'll do it, chat. We'll do it. I'll do a poll right now. Start a poll. Do you like Fuda? Yes. No. Start poll.
All right, slightly more people are saying no. Contrarians. Absolute normies. Normies, get out. You fucking
I feel like you're just about to say the N
Brad
word.
cucks. I'm tired of you. It's just way too many you fucking normal fags in my streams. I'm tired of it. You and me are not the same.
You know, I never understood why people get so defensive about Fuda. I like Fuda, and I know why I like Fuda. Axis, the reason he's defensive about Fuda and his Fuda position is because he doesn't want strangers on the internet to call him gay.
I was seeing Carl Sama's short about me. I don't remember. I'm not
Okay,
watching.
we got 22 votes. We got 22 votes. Let's see. Okay, I am not surprised that my chat is 50-50 split on on this. I am really not surprised. Okay, all right. Slightly more say no. It was 50-50 when I hit end poll. So I am not surprised that that was the statistic that we got. We got a real bisexual chat. I don't even know. I'm not even surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Watching any more videos. I'm about to end the stream. I'm amused by this conversation. Mike, it gets way worse than Fuda, dude. If you think that's the deep end, bro.
What does that mean that he gets worse than food? What is he hiding? What is in his closet? I want to know.
Well, definitely don't look any deeper. That's for sure.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? That is an alarming statement to make. Like, that's really creepy, right? Like,
Shit, man. There's a reason why there's other chat members saying it was normie shit or it's tame.
I'm assuming he's talking about femboys. See, because if it was a femboy, he'd be plowing the guy, right? So I think, yeah, I think it's CP. I think it's CP. In game.
Which, yes, I read. What?
He wants to give a food a footsie and then get some mediocre head. Oh, I remember.
Kamado?
He talks about Lolly. I sent you that clip. Okay. Let's pull that one up. Is that the one that's like you clipped the in here at 9:07? The Twitter link. Yeah, I think we might have looked at that last stream. I'll open it up. Because he didn't, from what I remember, he didn't like, he just basically didn't disavow it, from what I remember. Crunchy pasta in game. Yeah. This is that clip. Yeah, because he basically just didn't disavow it.
You want to know the amount of times I've seen some random Twitter user advocate for the banning of Lolly, and then it turns out they're an actual pedophile who's been
Okay, it's like we're like, this is a stupid straw man argument. This is so stupid. Ugh, God.
arrested or was arrested after that post. It's not a fucking coincidence, dude. These people are fucked in the head.
Yeah, they're like like his idea is like the people who are so very anti-Lolly are always the ones that are like hiding it, right? So by him taking like a middling stance on it, he's trying to like push the idea that he could be that kind of person away. But in reality, it's like the kind of people that are like that are just minuscule amount of people, right? I think if you went up to most people on the street and told them, I have a drawing of this character who's 10 years old and she's getting railed. Does that bother you? Most people would say, yes, that bothers me, right? Like, which one was this one?
So, there I was, playing Resident Evil 4.
Who the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What is this? What is this video? What is this? Is this like SS Sans Chud Jack? Who is this? Sans Undertale? Holy shit. What? Alright, alright. Okay. Okay.
Or for the first time, talking to the boys in chat, enjoying my night, discussing our favorite video games, our favorite reviewers, and of course that would include Synthetic Man. Now, unfortunately, with that being brought up, would come the unfortunate knowledge that Synthetic Man, in one of his recent streams, would admit to being into Fudokan. At first, I thought I was being fucked with. I thought I was being trolled. There's no way that the based boy of V, the chudler of V...
The based boy of V, the chudler of V. He's such a fucking soy cuck loser cringe lord, like...
just come out and start talking about his disgusting and depraved, degenerate she-male addiction. So we packed our bags, paused the game, went on down to the archives to figure out what exactly is going on here.
Whatever. It's a butt plug for new Abby to shove her giant food cock in my ass. There you go, I said it! It's over! My career is done. Take it out.
This guy, it's so funny. This guy can't even like Fuda because he put himself in such a stupid position. Yeah, Modius is like the worst hell taker character.
Out of context. Yeah, it's over. It's over. You guys gotta stop jerking off to porn. I'm a living example. My head only is filled with disgusting shit.
Now,
dude, stop jerking off. You know, okay, you know what's funny? This guy is like, why is he into this disgusting she-male porn? Meanwhile, there's like an ultra kill. The ultra kill character is in the back. So you just know this guy is like projecting as well. Like he also has the same fetishes.
with just this one clip as reference, you could probably chalk this up as a poor joke, right? He's having a giggle mate, goofing around in his live stream, and that's kind of what I wrote it up as too. I figured that, chat is just trolling me right now, but I would catch one of his live streams, and I figured I would just ask him directly, "Hey champ, what's going on? Why am I seeing clips of you talking about Fudocock and how much you love feminine penis, big guy? Is everything okay?"
Skyrim still torture.
Everybody wants to be fucking what's his name, Mr. Medicare, so bad.
Arl Sama, thanks for the $2. I saw a clip of you saying you love Fudocock. Why? It's well, partially the Immortals of Avium thing was just like a Coomer thought, but the Fuda thing doesn't need to be brought up again. But yeah.
This guy doesn't want to talk about it so bad. He like unearthed Pandora's box and he cannot put it back in. He cannot put it back in. The more his audience finds out about his fetish, the worse it's gonna be for him. Okay? It'll be worse if people keep saying, "Hey, that's Synthetic Man. You know, the guy who likes Fudocock. I guess he also reviews games, but he really wants to get blown out by Fuda."
I feel like there's way too
It would be a shame if that's how people introduced it.
many people who don't watch the streams regularly for this to keep coming up. Way too many people.
Uh-huh.
That long awkward pause really adds to it. That is too good. But yeah, he admits to it right there and then. No shame whatsoever. Apparently I'm not a regular either, because that's my first super chat, and he kind of latches onto that fact. But rest assured, Synth, I've been watching you for a while, just not on this account, buddy. And with it now confirmed to me by the man himself, and him clearly not wanting people to talk about it.
Just say you like Fuda, bro. It's not that serious. See, the problem was the position he put himself into. He's so chud-pilled that he cannot do that. It would go against his brand. It would actually ruin his credibility.
I decided I was going to go watch the rest of that stream that I was watching and see what exactly he says in this. Just how deep does this Fudocock go?
Just how deep does this Fudocock go? Well, right up until it reaches the end of his lower intestines. Just about there.
$2. Balls or no balls? Obviously balls. And obviously vag too, otherwise it's not a Fuda. to be clear.
Okay, so it needs both genitals.
Oh, don't worry, guys.
Dude, I can't believe we're being told this by Sans Undertale neo-Nazi right now. This is wild.
They have a vagina, so it's not gay. Oh, Cincels, not like this. Not like this, bros. Are we in for the trap isn't gay argument? Are we gonna see that again? That's an oldie but a goodie, right? Are we gonna get a mathematical breakdown on how it's only kind of 51% gay? You know, how gay it is, you know? Just because there's a cock and balls that you want to slobber on doesn't make you a homosexual, right?
People say food is so they don't have to. No, the whole point. There's no point in explaining the appeal because it's a fetish. If you're into it or you aren't, I think feet is stupid and slightly repulsive, slightly, because I've seen far worse. If I asked you to explain,
Feet's fairly normal in terms of a fetish. I'm not into feet personally, but and I really don't know how people are into it, but you know, I'm not like repulsed by the idea of like my homie being into feet.
the foot fetishists to explain what they like, they wouldn't be able to make it make sense. So why would you ask someone to explain a completely different thing? That is completely fiction.
You can explain. Okay, if you're somebody in your 20s and you have a fetish, I guarantee you can explain why you have it. I guarantee you can explain. Because if you spend any time to think about it, you can like go back to a point of why. All right? Because I know I can. But maybe I'm just that like enlightened with myself.
No, by the way, there is no real world equivalent.
I guess we're not going to get that argument. Instead, we're going to get the I do not have the time nor the patience to explain to you the allure of chicks with dicks. Apparently, the she-male fetish has a lot going on in it, and it's just too hard to explain to some normie like you. You wouldn't get it, all right? If I tried to explain it to you, you might get the wrong idea. You might think that I was into, like, you know, sucking cock and being reamed out in the asshole. And that's just not true. I don't want my asshole blown out by some fucking feminine cock. It's much deeper than that. Somewhere around this deep. And I like the it's not...
Oh my god, he made the same joke as me. He made the same joke as me, but he did it better. I'm kind of fucking mad.
not real defense, which he will regurgitate multiple times in order to defend his fetish here.
It's not even real, Patriot. It's not real. You know, it's not even real. Like, it's not a real thing.
Yeah, apparently the sensory neurons in the brain thing is like a scientific misnomer. Apparently that's not true.
He talks about his food obsession for like well over an hour. It's actually rather insane, and Chat begs him to stop multiple times, but he refuses to listen. Could it be
Of course he can't. Of course he can't, because he really wants to share his feelings about this, but he can't because he built an audience where they would blow his back out if he, you know, talked about it.
autism? Perhaps. I don't know why else you would talk about this very embarrassing, degenerate shit openly for no reason. And it kind of makes you think, what is he not willing to tell us about? If he's willing to talk about this, then what is he not willing to talk about? And during this hour, he gives multiple defenses and why he is into this kind of stuff and how it came about. He blames everything under the sun. Cartoons that he watched as a kid, the type of media he consumes, the video games he plays, the internet. Going on to say something like, I've been seeing this stuff since I was 12. I am a product of the internet, and therefore it is, you know, perfectly normal, and that most of the people in his
Society made me into Fuda lover.
probably look at worse shit. So he is totally justified. And how dare Chat try to make me feel bad? Basically, cope. He is coping super hard. It's really telling that he will point at everything around him and be like, you did this to me. I am a freak because of you. And not take any kind of self-accountability or do any kind of self-reflection.
Wilhelm Kurtz, thanks to 2 books. Stop incriminating yourself. We can still fix this. No, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Nobody says what I said without, you know, being in the know, I guess.
But don't worry, Cincels, it's not totally over just yet. He's willing to stop. He's laid out his terms. He will stop jerking off to cock if you find him the perfect trad 3D waifu.
If you can send me a loyal wife, then I'll quit.
If you can send me a loyal, you're never gonna find a wife if that's like, that doesn't. What are you doing? What are you doing saying that? You're never gonna find anybody. You're gonna die alone if you talk about that. All my streams have been about dudes liking Fudacock. It's not projection. It's just weird coincidence that it keeps happening. For some reason, political extremism and liking Fuda go hand in hand. Yeah, a loyal wife's definitely gonna cure his porn addiction.
No, I will accept no less.
Only the most respectable type of women want a man that jerks off to what is essentially...
You know, guys, I don't approve of SS Sans ideology, but he kind of spitting with his Wojak. Can I suck your cock? Get the fuck away from me.
gay hentai. Don't worry, I can fix him. Unfortunately, Synth, I think the only type of woman that's going to be into that is the type that wears a pride flag. And you know exactly which one I'm talking about. The one with the surgery, the one that can meet your intense fetishes and bring them to life.
What have I done? I look forward to someone using that against me on like 4chan or something. You already know it's gonna be on there. It's gonna be.
Dude, you're so cooked. You're so cooked. Between this and like everybody finding out about all your stupid like takes about media, like the outside of like the real losers with no life, no help, never leave, smelly losers, get no sex, no bitches. Like, you're fucked. You're fucked. It's over. It's Jover. Like I'm so far out of the realm that you operate in, Synthetic Man. The fact that I'm sitting here talking about your Fuda cock fetish means that there is no coming back from this ever. Okay, you're the Fuda cock guy. You're not the Fallout Show dumb opinion guy. You're not the Chud Jack race realism type weirdo. Okay, you're not racial statistics Andy. You're the Fuda cock guy. You're Fuda cock guy. That's it.
Oh no, I've been blown the fuck out. He predicted this would happen. I really don't get why YouTubers can't just come in private. Why do content creators always feel the need to let their audience into every facet of their life and let them know every little fucked up thing about them? Especially when, like, you're marketing yourself to the type of people who you know are gonna frown on this. Why even let them in on it? Are you just preparing them for when you have a rectal prolapse? My anus got inverted by a chick with a dick. Not gonna be able to stream today, guys. Sorry. It's really unfortunate. Every time I start to like a YouTube or something like this happens, it seems to be...
Every time I start to like a YouTuber, they just be like, I like gay sex. What is this?
a blight. It seems to be a reoccurring theme on the platform. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up pulling a complete 180 at some point, and...
You know, I've just noticed that this guy's keyboard has some interesting keys on it. There's the N-word. There's a big space bar. All these people watch Fuda and trans porn. They just refuse to admit they like it because they have ideologically written themselves into a corner, like a shonen author with an OP final villain.
Ends up pulling an Ackman, where photos of him come out where he's at a gay pride event because, you know, whatever fucking...
Guys, I thought Actman was our guy. I thought he was based in Shrad, but here he is supporting gay rights. There's nothing more American than supporting the rights of people to fuck who they love. Within reasonable legal limitations, of course. Which is always the copium they use when they say that they're against it. God forbid Actman supports gay people. God forbid. Actman's a lot of things. But that's so soy.
Reason he can pull out of his ass, provided that there's enough room in there, of course, with all that feminine penis and whatnot. Anyways, I look forward to the comments saying, he's a good boy, he just wants to suck a few cocks. What's wrong with that? Comments, and I'll see you next time.
I look at chat every time and I'm like, I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm starting a new persona. You guys will find me though. My voice is a little too identifiable, where it's like, it'll take about a week for my new channel to get found and be like, oh, that's the Fuda guy.
That's it. Yeah, you are just the Fuda guy now. Like, that's it. I'm kind of curious what's on this guy's channel. People need to get off of 4chan. Holy shit. It's not even 4chan anymore. Like, all the people who are, like, mad fucking crazy just moved on to different, like, forums. Okay? Like, they're not even there anymore. Whoa, we've had the same recommendations.
I've been jerking it to Fuda since I'm like 16. My porn taste is still very vanilla. Maybe just stop watching then before it gets worse.
My ex would browse 4chan, but when I told him about how I browse Kiwi Farms, he told me that that site was disgusting. Holy shit. Jesus. Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, we live in a society. I can't even, like, be mad anymore because it's like all of this stuff just completely passes, like, the threshold. Like, it's comedy. Like, I can't even fucking be, like, upset about it. Like, well, it's like that when you meet like a white race savior, and then for some reason he's a fucking Latino guy, right?
Yeah, I think there's less people voting yes just because I called them out. Yeah, but it's still 32%, still pretty high. Let's be honest. Tallest tree, thanks to $2. Synth, whatever you do, don't pull a Vosh, brother. Well, I'm not stupid enough to save porn on my computer, and also
That's a lie. He's lying through his straight teeth. He definitely has a folder filled with porn somewhere on his computer. Honestly, depending on the part of 4chan, yeah. Yeah, there are definitely some places where you could be like, oh, that's worse. Because a lot of 4chan is pretty low key these days. Like, it really isn't as crazy as people imagine. The Synthman's chat passed the Bechdel test. Dude, you know it's 99% males in there. Happy birthday, Pharaoh. Very base.
I don't do display capture ever. I actually stopped doing display capture just because of the I still haven't activated Windows, probably never will, but
That's cope. That's so cope.
that's the real reason is because they activate Windows. But Arshad Star Wall thanks 40 rupees. Synth, no, for the love of God, save yourself. Listen, if you've been paying attention, you know it's too late for me. You know it's way too late for me. I love how, yeah, you know what's funny? There's a bunch of chat disgusted, and then there's multiple chat members bringing up food artists and source filmmaker animators. Like, it's like
he even knows he knows animators and artists by name, guys. Okay, like he's got a folder. Okay, he's got it organized. He's got one for each food artist that he likes. He's got different folders for different specific fetishes that he enjoys. He's got it organized and on lock. Okay, there's no way he doesn't.
the duality of man, 100%. Where the fellow Coomer degenerates are like, what the fuck do you want me to say, dude?
Poll is sometimes bad. B is kind of just stupid. And usually it depends on a day. I've like looked at B and there's like nothing on there that's more outrageous than the stuff I see on Twitter. Same thing for Poll. Poll can be kind of toxic, but honestly, most of the boards aren't really that bad, and the moderation on 4chan also isn't that bad. Like, if you're gonna be talking off topic in a thread, like you're gonna lose. Like, that's gonna get deleted from the thread.
This is taking a turn. This is taking a turn. Regardless, I think I proved my point that over 30% of chat, though, again, proves how many bots we have in the stream, that only half the people.
I also know artists and animators by name too. There's Mishi, Toxic, Cat, Mishi, Toxic.
Voted. It's anonymous, dude. I can't see which answer. But the point is,
like, I genuinely, okay, unironically, I see more people kill themselves on Twitter. Unironically, I see more death on Twitter than I do see on 4chan, right? I think that is honestly like a sign of how bad Twitter's moderation is compared to 4chan. Okay? That was Kat that said that.
A third of chat likes Fuda, so I'm just fucking remember that. Just remember that. Tall Street, thanks $2. Synth about to drop the mouse and pick up the pork sword. Yeah. Oh yeah, Black Cat, of course. Because people like attractive things, they don't like ugly things. It's really not that complicated.
Do you think he keeps his tax documents next to his porn folder like Vash does? You've been on Instagram lately? It's just as bad there. Yeah, I don't understand how these multi-million-dollar like sites are lacking in moderation tools to get rid of gore and violence and death, which is against their terms of service for a lot of the reasons that this stuff is on there. But a place like 4chan will like almost instantly always at like 3 o'clock Eastern Standard on a Monday night have somebody come in and delete all the fucking crazy shit that they posted in a thread on r slash. Reddit's bad too, by the way.
I feel like if you're attracted to the female body, you're probably straight. Even if you're coon brained like some of us. You know,
If you're
me.
attracted, this guy is coping so hard. Like, you like who you like, just like what Axis said. You hear about the guy getting shot on Kick. Yeah, I did. Like, what? I don't understand. All these, like, humongous websites. Okay, so his next Fallout thing is, like, an hour long. Straight men stay winning. Hope. Yeah, he just hates that he likes it. Yeah, self-hatred is part of it. He probably grew up in a really traditional household. That's probably part of why he has a lot of self-hate, you know? See? Look, an overbearing Christian mother. It's no surprise. It's no surprise. Synthetic man, it's okay. It's okay. But your mom won't fuck you, so you gotta deal with all the food cock you like now. If he can remember the artist, he can look them up anytime, so he doesn't need a folder. Okay, so you guys ready to watch the Yasuke video? I said I was gonna watch this last stream.
How many years have people been asking for an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan? It's got to be at least 10. And so finally, when the
So I feel like, again, we talked about this last time on stream, where I feel Assassin's Creed has really done its course. Ghost of Tsushima has come out. It's on PC now, so I definitely want to get it. The Yasuke discourse has honestly made me want to have a smoke with the entire fucking internet. So, yeah, apparently you're going to play as Yasuke in this. I remember, so I did a little, like, research. I'm a bit rough on my Japanese history because I'm a Roman Andy, and I spend a lot of time, like, exploring antiquity and Greece and Rome, because of course I do. I've been getting into the Middle Ages now, ever since the Shadiversity stuff, which has been great, and I love it, and it's a very rich history to explore. So Yasuke was a real person. The degree of importance in a historical context for him is kind of difficult. So there's not a lot written about him. There's little, but he was part of... Fuck, what was his name? Hold on. Let me pull up the article I read a couple days ago. Okay. So was it? Let me make sure I get this right. I don't want to accidentally share wrong history with you guys. Okay, so a lot of people speculate that Yasuke was from Mozambique, so he's from Africa, and basically he got trafficked over a long period of time and ended up in Japan. So before he was a samurai, what had happened to him is that he became a free man and became a bodyguard because missionaries couldn't carry weapons. So he was the bodyguard to a Jesuit missionary who went from India to Japan. And so he basically ended up in Japan because he was a bodyguard of a Jesuit missionary. So Yasuke ended up becoming a bodyguard and soldier of Nobunaga. So that guy, right? From the Total War games, you might have heard of him, right? He was technically not a samurai, but he was the closest thing to it without a lineage and an official post, basically a squire. Yeah, so like there's two things about it, right? So there's like a samurai, the guy who has like the job of warrior, and then like samurai, like the cultural lineage, right? And because he didn't come from the lineage in Japan, like the title that he was given is like kinda, but not really, right? In the Chronicles of Lord Nobunaga, a 17th century book written by one of Nobunaga's followers, describes Yasuke as appearing to be 26 to 27 years old. This man, quote, looked robust and had good demeanor. What's more, his formidable strength surpassed that of 10 men. Quote, others chronicles characterize the samurai as an intelligent, imposing figure who stood more than 6 feet tall. Right? So the whole like rank of samurai really at the time didn't have all the like cultural context that you associate it with. It was like a loose context, right? So it was somebody that was in service of a lord, and Yasuke ended up becoming one of the like personal guards. There was like 50 of them, who would all go around with Nobunaga, and they would work as bodyguards protecting Nobunaga in different places where he went. Eventually, obviously, that aspect of his job came to an end. As there's like this whole unification war that's happening in Japan at the time. All these guys are vying for power, and literally this is like Total War Shogun. Literally, it's just that. Which I hate doing that and saying that, but that's literally what it was. It's basically all these feudal lords fighting for power, right? But basically, there was a last stand, and the last stand is where Nobunaga died, and Yasuke presumably died. But there wasn't a lot written about him. And obviously, the reason Yasuke became so popular, like he literally is like a really minor footnote. Like he's a historical oddity, and that's why he's interesting. Um, but to say he's like an amazing warrior, like he's no Musashi in the Five Rings, right? He's nobody like that. He's no Sun Tzu in the Art of War. He was just a good warrior who happened to be black and existed in a like weird place and time, right? So there's that.
Franchise is at its weakest, and Ubisoft in general is probably going to go bankrupt in the next 5 years and likely be bought up by Microsoft. They finally pull out their ace in the hole, an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan, just like we all wanted. And of course, it stars a black man in feudal Japan. Now, this is where all the people who are trying to change the definition of woke come out and say, Yasuke was a real samurai from feudal Japan, and you're just a racist for not wanting to play as him. Well, first of all, Yasuke wasn't a samurai. He was a servant, effectively a pet of Oda Nobunaga.
That is also not accurate. Right? He did fight as like a bodyguard, right? But like, do I grant you the rank and title is like cope, right? It's like this is all. Part of what makes this annoying is that it's all like semantics, right? Because we just basically want to determine this on the basis of a title, which is also not accurate, right? I'll just go read the Wikipedia. Let's just go pull up the Wikipedia article. Fine, if we're gonna do this, let's read the Wikipedia article. Pull it up on chat. Here we go. Apparently, a samurai, a Victorian dandy, an American cowboy, a French privateer could all meet in a bar and it would be historically accurate. There we go. We'll just, I'm sorry, I'm pulling a Destiny now, and I'm just reading a Wikipedia article. Yasuke was a man of African origin who served as a retainer. Okay, here. Retainer. Japan. 16th century. Right, let's figure out what that means. Let's see. What is a retainer? Black people in Japan. Meaning. Apparently, there's a wiki war going on with this page. Not surprised. Okay. Ask historians. What's the difference between a vassal and a retainer? Here, we'll do a Tudor Nation one, because that's probably accurate to the time. Of fucking course. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Vassal and retainer are both used in European medieval historiography. The usual distinction is that a vassal is a landowner who owns military service to a large landowner, while a retainer is a personal follower of a lord, part of his household, and not necessarily a knight. Knights could be either or both. Many young knights were landless and essentially military servants of greater men, while some landed knights also served in a household of great lords or kings. Okay. A retainer was basically a royal servant to a noble person. These were bodyguards that sworn their undying loyalty to the person that they're sworn to. Midgematic, thank you for that. You summed it up very nicely. So, like, okay, right? If we're gonna apply the samurai term to the medieval historiography term, right? The usual distinction is that a landowner, so retainer is a knight could be either or both. So a samurai, he was a samurai that owned no land. That was it. There. He's a samurai that owned no land and served under Nobunaga, right? But he was called a retainer because he was landless. Probably because they didn't want him to own land, right? That's completely possible. Served as a retainer to Japanese daimyo Oda Nobunaga for a period of 15 months between 1581 during the Sengoku period and to Nobunaga's death at the Honjoji incident. Yasuke is the earliest known African to appear in Japanese historical records, though his confirmed period of stay in Japan was relatively short, about 3 years, from August 17, 1579 to June 1582. There are a few historical documents on Yasuke, which everything I've read before this seems to be true, with only fragmentary accounts in letters of the Jesuit missionary Louis France, Ota Gaiichi, or Shinsho Koki. Let's see. The name Yasuke was given to him by Nobunaga. His real name, date of birth, family structure, date of blah, 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 blah are unknown. Yasuke had African roots. Louis Franz wrote of Yasuke in the Cafe in his letters. Okay. All right. Documented life in Japan. In 1597, Yasuke arrived in Japan in the service of Jesuit missionary Alessandro Evangelino. I'm butchering names here, so I apologize. Let's see. In 1581, Evangelino decided to visit the capital, Kyoto, as an envoy. He wanted to have an audience with Oda Nobunaga, the most powerful man in Japan, to ensure Jesuit missionaries' work before leaving Japan. These events are recorded in a 1581 letter. Most of this stuff is about Evangelino so far. Nothing is about our boy Yasuke, which I think is very telling to what was going on in his position. None of those names are Naruto, Sasuke, Bleach, Luffy, or Goku. They all fought for catch a glimpse of Yasuke, breaking down a door of a Jesuit residence in the process, and ended in a number of death and injuries among the Japanese. Imagine being such an oddity that people die trying to catch a glimpse of the first black guy in Japan. Let's see. Nobunaga, yeah, Evangelina describes how Nobunaga, thinking that he might have ink on his body, made him take off his clothes and wash his body. But the more he washed and scrubbed, the darker his skin became. Let's see. He didn't really do much. Like you said, he's a footnote, but an interesting one, but a footnote. Nobunaga was impressed by him and asked Evangelina to give him over. He gave him the Japanese name Yasuke, made him an attendant at his side, and enlisted Yasuke into his army. Nobunaga's nephew gave him a sum of money at his first meeting. Doesn't sound like a pet to me, by the way, considering there's an exchange of money. The Shincho Koki states a black man was taken on as a vassal by Nobunaga-sama and received a stipend, so he was paid for his labor. His name was decided to be Yasuke. He was also given a short sword and a house. Holy shit, was he given land? Because they're using the term vassal here, and obviously this is dependent on the translator. But that would make him a landowning warrior. Right? Based on the Shinsho Koki, as stated here. Right? Froys wrote in the annual report to the Jesuits, the black man understood a little Japanese, and Nobunaga never tired of talking with him. And because he was strong and could do a few tricks, Nobunaga took great pleasure in protecting him and had him roam around the city of Kyoto with an attendant. He had him roam around the city with an attendant? If he's named a vassal, then yeah, they gave him land. Yeah, so that sounds like they gave him land. They gave him a house, and they paid him, and they gave him a sword. And yeah, he could have had the rights to live in the house, but not own the land. Some people in the town thought that Nobunaga might take him as a Tonno, a lord. After entering into Nobunaga's service, Yasuke followed Nobunaga to Azuchi Castle in Omi province. Yasuke next appears in historical records in May 11th, 1582. A vassal of the Tokugawa, oh my god, mentions Yasuke accompanied Nobunaga on his inspection tour of the region after he destroyed his longtime arch-enemy, the Takeda clan of Kai. Nobunaga-sama was accompanied by a black man who was presented to him by the missionaries and whom gave him a stipend. So he's being paid again. His body was black like ink. He was 6'2". He was about 6 feet tall. Yeah, nobody in this argument gives a damn about history. This shouldn't even be discourse. Anyone legitimately racist should have been, yeah. I really do think that this game is probably not going to be a good representation of what Yasuke was historically, but you know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey irritated me so much with its historical inaccuracies that I was like legitimately furious. But you know, I can't give a fuck about this series. It's like 10 years too late, you know what I mean? Yeah, so like really he's wrong. Like he is just wrong. Like we read, was that even here? Wait a second. that that was changed in the edit recently, but I understand because it's probably like an editor war going on with this page. View history. Yeah, they've been editing the fuck out of this page. Compare selected revisions. When was that edit added? Revision slider tutorial. So basically, blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of curious. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so I can go back to previous edits. This way. My question is, don't you hide in a crowd in Assassin's Creed? How the fuck is a 6-foot-tall black dude in that time gonna disappear? So he's apparently gonna be like the warrior character, and it's gonna be like a ninja character that you play as. as well. So that's like the assassin character, and he's like the warrior character. This is another previous edit. Let me. I'm actually going to compare these. There are no historical writings. There are no historical writings nor evidence. Yeah. Okay. So it was in line 66 of a previous edit on May 20th, and it's the 21st. So this was removed recently. And then yeah, so there's no historical documents. Hold on. So wait, so which one is the current? Okay, so this is the current, and we're comparing it to past articles. So the one on the left is going to be the old one. Historical writings. There are no historic. Yeah. So now it'll show up. Unless he just added it in. Could you imagine? Visual. When did you do this video? 5 days ago. So that would have been like on the 16th. I'm really being a pedantic Andy. I'm being so fucking pedantic right now. This is all May 20th. I'm really being such a fucking asshole going through this. This is like peak streamer content, scrolling through Wikipedia edits. Documented life in Japan. You know, it'd be funny if he just added this edit. Okay, so about the 16th, he should have done this. When did he get this? When did he get this edit? I am literally like the day of recording now. Like we were approaching that date, and it is not here. Am I like May 16th? Okay, we're on what? The fucking we'll go back to the 15th, right? We'll assume it took him a day to make this video. All right? So the evening, he probably has a bad sleep schedule, right? And we'll go to documented life in Japan. Because, yeah, this was completely just removed. It's important to note that despite popular myth and modern depictions, there's no historical writings nor evidence that Yasuke was ever granted the rank or title. He was never given a fief nor referred to one in any of the writing. Most of our knowledge from life comes to fruition by missionaries and locals. That's like editorializing in this article. Right? Like this is just putting it here. Can't you see editor notes like why they talked about changing or removing things? Hold on. Let me go back to a Wikitext version. Yeah, you can. I like need somebody to tell me how to do that. I'm very curious. We need a readme.md script. Someone give him a tutorial on how to do this, please. I want to know. I've never accessed these features on Wikipedia before. Links removed. They just might have removed it on the basis of it being like completely redundant. Oh, for that you just gotta. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, you need to click your left alt. Okay, ha 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 ha. Very funny. Very funny, chat. Very funny. Five and a half, 11. All right. Listen, either way, it was removed, and it was like completely editorializing. So like he just like didn't. He actually might have not even read the Wikipedia article, because if you read the Wikipedia article, like, I mean, we have a much more nuanced opinion, I think, now than him.
He was a servant, effectively a pet of Oda Nobunaga.
No, wait, why is he even quoting that? He was a servant and retainer. So retainer can refer to a landless vassal. Okay.
He was a servant.
So he's just ignoring the word retainer there. Like, he actually doesn't know what that is. I had to Google that to figure out the specifics, but it didn't take that long.
Effectively a pet.
There are no historical writings nor evidence that Yasuke was ever granted the rank or title of samurai. There's no fucking point for him to mention that he was a pet on the basis of this. Like, that's like, you're just implicitly putting in your own racism there, because that's not accurate at all.
Pet of Oda Nobunaga. But whatever, it's not like Assassin's Creed was ever that historically accurate. That's not.
No, it's not. So was or wasn't a lot of history written about this Yasuke guy? He was a servant, and he served Oda Nobunaga. He was like a warrior who was paid for his services as a warrior. And he is literally just a historical footnote. Okay. Diesel, go check Gen Chat for the revision history. Okay. Let me check. Thank you. Okay. Remove in popular culture. Reword to avoid mostly acclaim? Yeah, actually, thank you, guys. Thank you. So, I need to go check around the... I need to go check older than this. So we'll go around. Jesus Christ, we're gonna be here for fucking ever. I'm curious to see why the editors of Wikipedia changed that, and I think it'll give us a more, because I have a feeling that was added during this. Control F from this video or by date. Yeah, I know it's the 15th or 16th, so we're gonna track somewhere around there. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So this guy did something. Hold on. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Oh! Oh! Content deleted. Somebody changed his name to a slur on the 15th. Interesting. So this guy changed his name to a slur. Hold on, this says talk. We'll link a new tab. Yeah, the highlight. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Um, no edit summary, so that means I can't check it out. Okay, so then somebody added this and first foreigner to become a samurai to it, right? So he added that, and that got upvoted. This guy got downvoted for removing his name and changing it back to Yasuke. Added context and cleared up area for lack of evidence. Fix dashes. Hold on. Sorry. I know. Okay, that's just like a little edit. This guy's just like, Yasuke was never proven to be a samurai in the chat. Yeah, there's like an edit war going on. Like, literally, the Assassin's Creed trailer dropped, and then all of this shit started. Reverting lead paragraph back to an earlier version that actually supported by given reference. Content deleted. Oh, shit. This guy got downvoted for removing that paragraph. And I'm guessing he's getting downvoted by the people who are mad about Yasuke, right? Because, like, I'm going to guess that this guy probably added the... changed his name. Okay, so the guy who got upvoted changed his name to the N-word. So there was a bunch of, like, randos coming in. Adding back important details that's well supported. Retainer Samurai. Okay, so this guy changed his name from Retainer to Samurai and got upvoted for it. A lot, by the way. All right, change back to Sam. Yeah, this could have been a coordinated attack from an AC Discord or something. Yeah, I actually think this might have been a coordinated one. Yeah, this is actually a really good example of why you shouldn't use Wikipedia. Most Wikipedia pages are fine, but this is, like, literally caught in the middle of, like, actual bullshit nonsense. Fix error regarding status and pointing out areas that don't have supporting evidence. He was neither a menial nor an indentured servant. He was an indentured servant. He changed it to he was an indentured servant and valued as a retainer who was given a stipend. Yasuke was not Japan's first. So this guy added a bunch of shit. This is actually a really good example of why you don't use Wikipedia. But he literally, I guarantee you, he probably pulled this from 4chan or something. And he just didn't read. Previous editor changed the last sentence of the opening paragraph. This editor changed wording to convey that Yasuke was not Japan's first foreign-born samurai, but this directly contradicts three cited sources from the last sentence. Holy shit. Fixed content. Okay, this guy got downvoted a lot. What did he add? Okay, he deleted all of that. Which also... Okay, so he deleted references. This guy deleted references that went against the current argument. And he got downvoted for that. Reverted. And he got upvoted. Look at this guy. There are thousands of people engaging with this page, changing and adding things consistently. Okay? There are thousands of people doing this. All right. In popular culture, which various removed item since it doesn't support any encyclopedic value? This is a long list of examples, and there appears to be overlap between this item and items already present on the list. Yeah, they need to lock this page down for a bit. Not necessarily, especially when modern language usage of the term samurai can broadly be applied to many types of retainers and vassals, Japanese warlords. You were just doing this to fool common folk into believing there were real black samurais IRL. Oh my god. Reverting back to the page before to how it was before the cultural imperialist on this website decided to impose Ubisoft's racist blackwashing of Japanese history in the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows, as though it were fact, when in real life, Yasuke was at best a retainer, not a full-fledged samurai. Yeah, let's see if the page was locked. Holy shit. Reverting to edit before Ubisoft controversy, which reflects the page's content. So this guy reverted it to an old one before Assassin's Creed Shadow was announced. I think it was a good idea to revert it before all of this controversy started, because he's using it for his grift. And that's just an example of how Wikipedia can be weaponized and turned into like a tool. I would argue that Wikipedia is a good source, but you shouldn't like rely on it specifically because of those things. Thank you for getting me this revision history. If somebody wants to tell me how to do this in the community server in the future, so I don't need to ask you guys, that would be really awesome, because I have a feeling this might come up again in the future if I keep covering topics that are a bit more political in nature. What did this page look like before the game trailer was released? Let's find out. Let's just go boom, 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 boom. There were a lot of edits. Reverting possible vandalism. These pages are constantly being vandalized by annoying people. Change the racist edit. Okay, you know what, guys? I think I've come around to Wikipedia probably not being the only source you use. I really had no idea that it was this bad until actually looking at the history. Just seeing how active these things are changed is pretty fucking wild. Visual. Okay, that's just like... Diesel, check your DMs. I sent you an old book. I see. Oh, that's how I look at the revision history. Okay, I figured it out now, chat. Thank you. Cat, is it the Bible? No, it's not. He did not send me the Bible. Let's see. I am desperately trying to figure out how to look at. Don't use Wikipedia. Real kings use ChatGPT instead. No, if this is a problem with Wikipedia and ChatGPT scrapes Wikipedia for answers, then ChatGPT also has problems. Yeah, I know. Like these people are putting in so much energy to this. I'm actually putting in a lot of energy. Guys, how the fuck do I look at an old version of a page on Wikipedia now? I'm sorry. I'm gonna go off on a limb here and say that it didn't have all this ridiculous vandalism until recently. So I actually want to listen to what this guy has to say. I think I am equipped now to counter his points.
The point, it was never the point. The point is, it's a game set in
Don't ask AI. AI thinks Yasuke was the only foreign-born samurai, which is also bullshit. Yeah, I'm almost certain there were other foreign-born samurai.
Japan. And instead of playing as a Japanese man saving his country from the evil Japanese Templars, but no, we play as the one notable black man from historical Japan. And you know exactly why. Oh, and of course, I can't forget to mention there's also a playable female protagonist who thankfully is Japanese, but unfortunately has a wide face and a man jaw. Of course.
What? What? What is the? She just has a round face. What's like a man jaw to you? Like what is this like physiognomy check? Bro is pulling out the measurehead racism here, bro. If you want actual information on historical figures, go to Google Scholar and add a time range for publishing. That's a really good idea, Kat. Holy shit. I will do that from now on.
We couldn't have a woman with feminine features because that would be...
I don't know. She has feminine features. What's like not feminine about it?
Transphobic. You think I'm joking? I'm not. Now look, I'm not going to act like I'm super shocked because now
like you're literally just assuming things are there.
Several Assassin's Creed games have had female protagonists.
Which is normal, yeah.
But I really think it's the icing on the cake in this whole shit show. But no, that's not woke, apparently. Woke only means contrived forced diversity. You do realize that is a completely subjective and useless definition, right?
Okay, but then your definition of woke... Give me the definition of woke. You need to explain what this is, right? Because if it's not contrived diversity, right? Like, it needs to make sense within a historical context. And you can do a lot with Yasuke. Here's why Yasuke can make a good assassin character. There's a bunch of these gaps in his history, which makes it easy to fill in with cool stories and fun shit, right? Assassins work in the shadows, which means that history isn't going to remember them. So Yasuke being a historical footnote actually plays into the assassin fantasy.
I was asked a bunch of times by tourists to this channel to define a woke. It's very simple. It's whatever ESG or bridge is pushing, aka progressive leftist politics.
Whoa, okay, all right. So basically anything left-leaning is woke, then so like anything right-leaning is trad. But that's such an incredibly large definition of the word. It doesn't define anything. We can't get to the heart of any single political issue here if woke is just what the opposition believes. I know that there's differences between the right and the left, but we can't reach a concise conclusion if we're just throwing buzzwords back and forth at each other.
That's what woke is. Woke is not some arbitrary idea of what you're not.
Yeah, he literally just said anything I don't agree with is woke. That was literally the basis of his argument. Like, this is completely bad faith. There's no reason for this guy to be in a political discussion. He is actually a moron.
Okay with. There's this little thing called the Overton window. You have...
Yeah, okay. What does the Overton window have anything to do with this? What does the Overton window have anything to do with this? Let's be real. Everything the Synthetic Man talks about is completely outside of the Overton window of traditional conservative politics. Conservative politicians don't pull out race statistics on stage, generally speaking, right? And also, generally speaking, leftist politics don't pull out racial statistics while they're out on stage either. Because generally, the American voter is actually going to be very put off by somebody saying, black people commit more crimes. I saw this one study this one time. You can't do that.
Slowly been conditioned to accept more and more.
That is actually a conspiracy. You were literally just spouting conspiracy nonsense. There is absolutely no evidence to support what you're saying whatsoever, right? Please tell me what the Overton window has anything to do about that. At all, please.
use the term again that every centrist grifter fucking got triggered by. I'll just say miscegenation. Feel free to Google that.
What?
Apparently that doesn't count as woke, even if that's very
Okay, chat, what does miscegenation mean? This is like advanced critical race theory bull crap I'm finding out here. I actually don't know what that means.
centrist grifter fucking got triggered by. I'll just say miscegenation.
Race mixing? Okay. Miscegenation? Okay. Okay, hold on. I need to look this up. Miscegenation. Miscegenation. Miscegenation marriage or cohabitation by persons of a different race. Theories that anatomically disharmonized children resulted from miscegenation were discredited by 20th century genetics and anthropology, although it is now accepted that modern populations are a result of continuous mixing of various populations since prehistoric times. Okay. Well, I had to check. I had to check. I didn't want to be like the just trust chat Andy. Okay. Why are centrists automatically grifters? Centrists are considered automatically grifters by people who are political extremes on the basis of the following, right? They say, you should have a side. We're fighting the good fight, right? So, like, somebody who's a leftist, like Hassan, might disagree with another leftist who has, like, different opinions on the Houthis, for example, right? So, like, the idea is that you all share the same beliefs so that way you could fight the opposition. Right. So centrists are a problem because they have values that associate with both sides of the political spectrum, which mean that they don't contribute anything. Or that's how a lot of these political extremes operate. They feel that being a centrist is being a fence sitter.
Feel free to Google that. Apparently that doesn't count as woke, even if that's very...
That doesn't count as woke? Most people would agree that, okay, like, you are actually just a racist. Like, what? How are you even supposed to have a discussion about this?
Very obviously part of their agenda. There's a reason why it's in every goddamn commercial.
Okay, obviously, like, you know, you're not normalized to the idea of a mixed race couple, but mixed race couples have been around for a long time, buddy. Like, they just have. Like, what's the problem with the mixed race couple? Actually tell me what the problem is. And then here's the thing, is that I do that, and then it'll pull out race science. He'll pull out race science, and he's like, black men commit more domestic violence. I have it right here in a study I got from 4chan that I didn't read.
On TV. It's in every TV show. It's in every fucking movie. But no, that's not woke, according to fucking retards.
Kids, the guy is black and he's white, so he's talking about, like, oh, it's race mixing and promoting race mixing.
But that's not even being woke.
So yes,
No, yeah, most people would consider that race mixing is not a problem. Diesel is because he hasn't seen any mixed couples in his basement.
Any of you were expecting a response video to the numerous replies to my Fallout reviews, or Moist Critical's little tidbit in his podcast, no, it would be completely pointless, and as entertaining as that video would be, it certainly would get this channel in trouble, to say the...
Well, okay, the reason that you're not addressing it is because you don't really have a leg to stand on. If you actually gave a shit about these beliefs, Synthetic Man, you would sit there and defend them. Do you actually give a shit about race mixing? Or do you just care about it because you're afraid that all these white women are being taken from you, even though they wouldn't want to fuck you anyway? Like, is it actually because you have an opinion on race mixing and you want to talk about that and have a serious discussion about it? Or do you care about it up until the point where it affects your cooming and that's it? Because I think that you actually don't care enough to do anything about it. Like, if you're not going to sit here and defend it, but you're willing to put out this stuff on the internet, why even say it in the first place? I have political opinions on things, but there are things that I don't think it's necessary to share with the internet. So I just don't bring it up. Like, there's no fucking point in this. He probably thinks the white replacement thing is real. Yeah, he probably does.
Least. And look, I know I'm rambling about something completely unrelated to this Assassin's Creed trailer, but I do want to...
Like, he literally just, like, either you defend it or not. Like, get out of the fucking ring. If you want to talk politics, like, actually get in the fucking ring. Like, seriously. Like, at a certain point, if you're going to be making discourse, you might as well put up or shut up. Okay? Like, I don't really give a shit what the quartering has to say about politics because he never wants to sit down and actually have a debate or a discussion about these things, which would be 10 times more beneficial for everybody. Hell, there might even be some middle ground reached. But God forbid some middle ground is reached. God forbid.
To point out before we move on that there seems to be this narrative that I was the only guy who didn't like the Fallout show.
There's probably a lot of reasons why a bunch of people didn't like the Fallout show, but you say you don't like the Fallout show on the basis of woke ideology and race mixing. How the fuck is anybody going to take you seriously when you come out of the gate saying that race mixing is a fucking problem? Who wants to listen to that guy? Nobody wants to listen to that guy except a bunch of other people who think that they're having their bitches stolen by a bunch of black dudes.
When It's a Gundam's video on it has 250,000 views. So I wonder if Critical will have something to say about that.
Okay, so It's a Gundam, I'm sure, is a great guy. Okay. I've seen him give opinions on things that I absolutely don't agree with. Right? I know he's definitely a little bit more conservative, but I guarantee you, the basis of his opinion isn't this race mixing, and that bothers me. Because nobody wants to listen to a guy who says, I'm racist. Nobody wants to stand out and listen to that guy. Right? Maybe It's a Gundam's video didn't say that. Maybe that's why people take him more seriously. Right? But I know he's more conservative. I know he plays into this culture war bullshit. Right? So I imagine some of it might be on the basis of that. Right? But it wasn't about race mixing as far as I can remember. He doesn't like the lore stuff because he doesn't like Bethesda Fallout. That's fine. That's fine. I think that's a valid opinion to have. I don't have any fucking problem with that opinion. That's actually how you should do it, right? But instead, this crazy guy wanted to sit down and talk about why race mixing is bad. And then he's wondering why he's getting shit. Why do you think you get shit for saying that race mixing is bad? Most normal people have no strong opinion on mixed race couples.
Yeah, somehow I doubt it. Why was my channel specifically targeted? Probably because I'm the only remotely popular chud gamer on the internet.
I'm the only remotely popular. You were a loser. You were a loser, okay? And I understand why you were suicidal, okay? I honestly hope for the day that you get access to something and that you take it out on yourself, not everybody else, okay? Really. And I understand that's going to shut down the ability for us to have a conversation, but you clearly don't want to have it. In game, of course. Obviously, don't hurt yourself. Go get therapy. Go get medication. Go touch grass. But, you know, in game. Yeah, 134K isn't that much. I have more subs than you. Like, fuck off. Like...
at this point. And unfortunately, my review of the other 7 episodes got hit with an age restriction.
Oh boy, I wonder why. Maybe it's also because you bring up a bunch of crazy ass shit about like the Great Replacement Theory. Like, I guarantee you bring up more race related things. I guarantee.
From mass reporting, yes, there was a couple seconds of exposed titty in the video, but
Oh, really? There's a couple seconds of exposed titty, and you wonder why the video got age restricted? What are you fucking stupid?
Don't think that's why I got age restricted.
Yeah, you got age restricted because the right wing, the chuds are being put down by the great woke agenda. You're being silenced by YouTube specifically. You're crazy. You're actually a crazy person. Go fucking sit down with Alex Jones and go smoke a fucking bowl, you nutcase.
Call me a schizo, but...
You are an actual schizo. That's actual schizo. Nobody cares about you. You have 134K. Get off your fucking high horse. You don't matter that much.
Even after censoring it in YouTube's editor, my appeal got rejected. So, obviously something fishy was going on there.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let me guess. All the Jews are sitting around taking your video down, right? That's probably what it is.
Regardless, my point of this little side tangent is just that even though the trailer appears to have a massive amount of dislikes, it's almost 50-50 according to the dislike extension, which I do want to point out that the dislike extension is not entirely accurate.
Thank Christ. Thank Christ he said that.
Actually usually underreports dislikes, so it's probably even more than this.
Okay, now I just think you're talking out your ass. I've seen it go both ways with the dislike thing. It just doesn't work accurately. It's a good way to get a vibe,
but I do want to say it's very clear to me, at least with the debate going on around a lot of adaptations or race swapping or interracial couples or replacement characters like Miles Morales, that people...
Replacement characters. He believes in great replacement theory. 100% he does.
People don't seem to understand where the line is with woke. Again, for normies who don't really give a flying fuck about the culture war.
Okay, like if you actually gave a fuck about a culture war, you would actually sit down with people who have disagreeing opinions with you and actually get into a war. It is not a war to make a YouTube video. You are not a warrior. You're not fighting for anything. You're not defending anything. Okay, you're making a YouTube video. That literally means nothing in the grand scheme of things. It'll become noise in the void. Okay, it does nothing for anybody. It gets nowhere to the center of any issues. You don't convince anyone of anything. You don't bring anybody over to your side. Who gives a fuck? It's a YouTube video.
And don't even understand that they're slowly being conditioned to accept worse and worse things I actually can't even say in a video, or this channel will probably get deleted.
Worse and worse. Yeah, because you know that you just are being racist. Okay, and the basis of you defending these things are what? Some schizo posting that you've seen online?
Again, I think you guys already know what I'm talking about, and by the time they realize, it will definitely be too late. I really think people have just become too stupid. I mean, honestly...
Yeah, I'm really... Okay, you know what a bunch of, like, schizophrenics, like, paranoid schizophrenics that think that there's a global Earth conspiracy, right? Here's what they think. They think, I have all the special information, I know all these things, and because I know all these things, I'm being targeted by big government, the Jews, the blacks, etc., whatever big group of people you want to put here, right? And they think they're being specifically targeted by this one group of people, that they have the knowledge, and they're trying to get it out, but they're being suppressed by the system, right? Either they're being followed by a black van, or people are stalking them, right? All this stuff, right? That's what an actual mentally deranged person says. That's what an actual mentally insane person says. That is exactly what you're doing.
If you just take away the woke element of the Fallout show, that show is just straight up retarded. The plot doesn't make any sense. There's a reason why even Mauler didn't like the show, okay? And yet normies ate that shit up, which is why you have people like Critical defending it, because all they do is parrot the most popular opinion. And so the Fallout show is not woke, but this Assassin's Creed game is woke. I'm really starting to think that normies
you're like actually are just generating a person that doesn't exist. Like two things can be separate situations. Okay? There's like, what is the overlap between the Fallout situation and this situation? Which is, by the way, a completely manufactured situation about a video game. Why is the culture war? Okay, here's another thing. Why is the culture war always about video games, TV, and like stuff people like from the 80s and 90s? Okay? Why isn't it about like, you know, things that actually matter? Why is it actually about like I don't know, fucking transgender medication? Why isn't it about the ability for abortion? Why isn't it about any of these important issues? Why is it always about video games? Why is it always about TV? It's almost like you're like focusing on this completely useless non-argument that gets to the center of no values, issues, or discussion.
ironically think woke means thing with left-wing propaganda that I don't like. If they do like the thing, they will ignore all left-wing propaganda in it. Perfect example, Baldur's Gate 3, right? So the word
Baldur's Gate 3, why? Because you have the choice to be bisexual with everybody? I mean, you can choose not to interact with those things. It's the ability of player choice and freedom, which is actually a rather good thing, considering a lot of the, and again, Axis brought this up earlier in chat, people are annoyed. Assassin's Creed has a $130 version, and guess what? We haven't seen any fucking gameplay of it. Why the fuck would you pre-order a $130 version of a game when you haven't seen any of it? That's an actual real issue. It's anti-consumer to hold all this content behind a paywall that large.
Become effectively meaningless. I feel like for every tiny victory that quote-unquote our team, and I'm using that very loosely.
Of course you're using that very loosely, because everything you're using is very loosely, because you can't define any of these things, because these things are when I feel it is versus when I feel it's not. It's literally on the basis of your feeling. Like, literally your entire politics are, this bothers me, this doesn't. Have some consistent fucking values. Jesus Christ. Like, you're literally just completely dictated by your Coomer values, you fucking loser.
Okay. Our team doesn't exactly agree on a lot of shit, as I've learned over the past few years. But even the tiny victories we have made effectively are meaningless because the brainwashing is way too fucking strong. So no, I don't think this is any kind of victory that the average person hates this Assassin's Creed game, because they have no real principles.
Okay, they have no real... Neither do you. If you had real principles, you wouldn't be sitting here making a video talking about a fucking video game. Okay? Maybe you get involved in politics, you fucking loser. Leave your fucking house.
They do not stand for anything. Maybe
Neither do you. Neither do you. Neither do you. Jesus Christ, I'm never gonna get through this 10-minute fucking video.
this released in 5 more years, they wouldn't give a flying fuck that Yasuke's black. Now, if you're wondering why this video isn't really talking about gameplay or thoughts on, like, the concept of the game, that's because it's just a CG trailer. There's not much to actually talk about. So might as well just talk politics. It's unfortunate that my gaming channel, and it has always primarily been a gaming channel, not...
Wow, that was an emotional respond. Cringe from you. Go get hit by a bus. Go get hit by a bus. I would sit down and debate this guy. I would debate this guy. Yeah, I would. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about race. I would. But the thing is, he just wouldn't want to. This kind of guy would never want to. See, first thing you do is tell me to get hit by a bus. Yeah, because you're stupid. He'd probably call you some slurs. Yeah, well, who the fuck hasn't?
A politics channel. I unfortunately have to talk about politics in almost every single modern game review because ESG, bridge, DEI, whatever is being shoved into every major video game.
Cringe lefty. I would probably consider myself more of a libertarian, but yeah, sure.
And I know I'm just preaching to the choir, explaining the same things over and over again to explain where ESG funding comes from, whether it's BlackRock.
I can't believe I'm being called a lefty for saying that race mixing isn't bad. Just ban that guy. What a fucking idiot. Get rid of him. Stupid. Go actually do something useful with your time. All right. I don't know. Telling people to die seems like, what the fuck do you think? Kill yourself. You know, the thing is both political extremes tell each other to kill themselves. Listen, I come from a place of the internet where everybody just tells them to kill the other person. I don't like, you know, it's just a thing. In game, of course. Nah, Diesel, you're libertarian left leaning. Which is what libertarianism was before it got co-opted. Yeah.
Vanguard, and I'm not even actually allowed to talk about why they're funding these things in games, why they're pushing it, and I already know my fans.
Yes, okay. Vanguard, big gay, big lefty is funding all these video games to turn all your kids trans, right? It's all funded by the Jews and the Rothschilds, so that way they can suck out the adrenochrome and rebuild the lich that is Jeffrey Epstein, hiding in Hillary Clinton's basement beneath the pizza factory, right? That's what it is.
Know exactly why. So what's the point of saying it for tourists at the risk of banning my channel? There isn't one. And truth be told, am I all that outraged about this? Honestly, no. I mean, I do enjoy getting mad for these videos. It's actually pretty cathartic to yell into a microphone, believe it or not. And I actually saw the leak.
I will agree. I will agree on that opinion. It is. I'm sure I'd enjoy yelling at you to your face too, personally. Again, like, he just wouldn't defend any of these things in a debate. I really don't think he's smart enough to do that. He doesn't strike me as that kind of guy.
About this game.
You can't even have a discussion with somebody who believes in conspiracy theories, right? Because the second you try to engage with somebody who believes in, like, a completely fundamental different reality than you, is that there's no chance for a middle ground, okay? Because their perspective on reality is just completely different. Like, there's literally no point in ever having a discussion with this kind of guy, right? Like, I say I'd want to, but what would it be for? It would be for, like, blood sports. There's a fucking fly in here. Right? It would be for blood sports, but there'd be no middle ground. His entire perception of the world is dictated by a conspiracy theory.
Concept like a year ago, and even as far as Clown World has gone, I was slightly suspicious of it, but let's just say when there was a second leak less than a week ago, I wasn't all that surprised. And Assassin's Creed has been effectively dead to me since, like, probably Black Flag. So I really have no personal investment in the IP anymore. And look, I truly thought Assassin's Creed Mirage was just okay. It wasn't terrible. Yes, it did have some woke stuff in it, definitely, but gameplay-wise, it was a step in the right direction. But it definitely wasn't enough to get me interested in Assassin's Creed again. I don't think anything could. And this trailer just justifies that thought completely. I mean, truly, if you buy this game, you are helping kill the video game industry. There's not a doubt in my mind.
I already know that this Assassin's Creed game is gonna suck. I know it's gonna suck. But I want to buy it because I know it bothers people like him. Okay? Like, holy shit. And, you know, conversely, I'm pretty sure this isn't woke enough for people like Ethel, who we covered a couple months ago, who's like crazy and super lefty. Speaking of, sorry, I'm a radical centrist.
There is no reason that this game should sell.
I'm gonna have beautiful mixed race babies because of you, you fucking troglodyte.
Well, if it does, it truly tells you how cucked our modern society.
Listen, I said last stream I'd fuck him. I popped my gay cherry for him. I'm straight, but you know, I'll take one for the team.
Society is. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to say about this. It's not like we had gameplay to work with. The only thing I can tell you to do is just keep voting with your wallet. Don't buy this slop no matter what. I mean, I might review it just to make an entertaining video, but sure as hell not a single one of my fans should spend any money on any Ubisoft.
I'm gonna buy this game because it's content. But you shouldn't buy it, even though I haven't seen anything.
Game, and I mean any Ubisoft game. There's been rumors about Far Cry 7 and how it's going to have the Peaky Blinders guy as the villain, but who cares, man? It's Far Cry again. I don't care how good the trailer looks. Don't buy any Ubisoft game. Let them die. They're on their last legs. I might be a doomer, but I am not completely and utterly cynical to the point of being blinded. It's obvious
you actually
that
are.
us not buying these games is having some effect on the industry. I seem to recall
The
reading
man plays Honey Pop with she, her pronoun.
that BlackRock lost like $1 trillion on investments. That's an unimaginable amount of money. So it's obvious that if
like this whole shit, it's like BlackRock is like controlling the video game. Like, this is so fucking crazy. Like, this is literally just crazy conspiracy nonsense.
just keep doing this, at the very least they'll have to pull
like the thing is that regardless of how ideologically driven a capital firm is, the basis of that capital firm's entire thing is to make money for the shareholders. Okay? Like, they literally couldn't give a single flying fuck about somebody's personal political values. What matters most of all is to get a quarterly report that's positive. So is he upset about the game or not? I'm so confused. Is anyone hype about this game? No, he's upset about this game because it has black and women. That's it.
back a little. Now, somebody like me, I'm always going to read into the more subtle propaganda, no matter how much
I'm going to read into the more subtle propaganda. I'm crazy and mentally unwell.
people think I'm reading into shit. I actually understand these things. They do not. Which is
like, literally, I can't keep pausing. I'm so sorry, but that is literally what schizophrenics say. You are medically insane and you need help.
clear from all of the backlash against my Fallout videos. So trust me, I'm not gonna suddenly become an optimist if this woke funding suddenly pulls out of the game industry, because we have to remember that...
Okay, 2D Trash summed it up very well. Yeah, you're right. It's like rainbow capitalism is still capitalism. It's rainbow because rainbow is profitable.
A lot of the developers working for these modern AAA companies are also far leftists. Because of their mental illness, they genuinely think they're doing a good thing.
You just can't see why I see, because you're dumb. Yeah, while pointing at a blank paper. That's literally what he's doing. Well, the thing is that there's actual writing on that paper, Rina, but it's just the N-word 150 times over.
By spreading their ideology in art. So I think it's going to be a long battle in the years to come, but I think we are making a small amount of headway. So just no matter what, don't buy this slop. That's about it. See you next time, guys.
The first thing he said when this game dropped is that Yasuke was only in the game to try and market to black people. Holy shit. I honestly can't believe how anybody is that fucking stupid. uh... I am actually genuinely impressed with this guy's like mental dysfunction. I am. All right. Anyway, there is this Patreon of his, which Nani, if you can drop it in the newsroom, I'm gonna go buy I'm gonna go buy from it right now. So I want to know. I want to know about the Great Replacement. Also, show off the Twitter screenshots. I will. I'm gonna go take a bathroom break first. All right. I'll be right back.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
All right, I'm logging in on my alt right now, to do what needs to be done. So I just want to make sure that everything's set up. All right, we are on like Donkey Kong. Boom. We'll get to that in a hot minute. There we go. Some don't want to go. Listen, if anybody wanted to dox me, I mean, like, it wouldn't be fucking hard. But you know, them's the breaks. I'm a streamer anyway, you know, so it comes with the territory.
Tired than I am.
Let's oh my god. I'm gonna make a synthetic man folder on my PC. So we can keep drama tabs on him. Let's see. I wonder if he believes in like the election was stolen based on some of these things I'm reading. I don't know whether or not the election was stolen or whether or not the system is just like rigged politically. All I know is that every time it's election season, whatever side doesn't win says that the other side stole the election. So that's my opinion on it. I know, very radically centrist. But you know, what else am I supposed to say there? This is a great replacement type tweet here. Holy shit. I don't know if I'm gonna show some of these. A lot of this is just him like liking like offensive tweets. If Jewish privilege isn't real, then neither is white privilege. End quote. Wild. Yeah, he liked a lot of like very like based stuff, you know. That's how I'd put it. No, I'm definitely not done putting it together, which is why I wasn't on screen, but I'm mostly done. Sphere has a cameo, so that's where he drops it. He hates Cyberpunk too. Well, this was at launch. I definitely was disappointed with that at launch. It's based now. The game's great. So, you know, there's that. I do have the spicy one up. I like how on this account the only things I'm supporting are Illuminati and now this schizoid. You know, with only $1 that I need to put forward, it's not really like a lot of money I gotta put up for this. It's fucking bug, bro. I need to get that when I'm done with stream. Oh, you just had it unlisted. This is a 5-hour stream. Kill me. Yeah, that was a. Yeah, the fly is my co-host. I need to get that, dude. I left my door open today, and they like I don't understand how like you can leave a door open and a fly won't fall like go through it to leave, but they always come through it like to enter. So it's like a fucking vampire. Dude is so greasy. He looks like flamenco, but like he looks like flamenco, but like going to like I'm smart. Like that's what he's doing. uh but yeah, this was from his Patreon that I just paid for. So I'm curious. There's no timestamps.
Kill. Well, you can as long as you don't. If you're either playing on hardcore mode or you just don't befriend her, you can kill her The companions in New Vegas only become essential after you've recruited them. So you can kill whoever you want.
Why did you pay Diesel? Because I couldn't access it another way. Plus, you know, he'll probably be annoyed about that, but like this is 5 hours long. I'm based stream.
Okay, you are supposed to climb up these. Marky Mark, thanks $5. One of the quest givers in Redfall is legit a Troon priest. They don't state it anywhere, but it's a dude. Ugliest character model I've ever seen. See, this is the thing, like, that's why I feel bad about talking about New Vegas, because New Vegas is nothing compared to the shit we see now. But again, the Overton window conversation.
Oh boy, oh boy. This guy actually is like politically brain dead. Okay, because he like recognizes a bunch of like buzzwords, but then you can't articulate on them in a nuanced manner.
I am essentially a radical, so
I mean, I will say that you are a radical.
anything that's like slightly left already just makes me mad anyway, because I'm just tired of the shit, you know?
I am a radical. He might just be a Nazi.
Sure, it makes me less mad than any game released in the past 3 or 4 years. It's one of my favorite games. I love New Vegas. I could talk a lot about the elements I like about it, but there's a lot of shit I don't like. Matt Murdock, thanks, $2.
Why didn't the Legion just like win? So, because you played the NCR. Well, I think that the Legion was based and had the right idea.
It's better start making Rumble accounts. I actually already have one. I have a Rumble account, but I haven't advertised it in, I don't know, at least 6 months. But, YouTube apparently punishes channels that have links to outside websites.
That's also bullshit. That's like actual bullshit. That's a lie. I don't know where he's hearing that shit.
Oh, yeah. I don't know when they started doing that. I think last year at some point. Would I agree with the statement that Minecraft has been ruined by updates? Yes. I mean, for completely unrelated reasons to what we were just talking about, but I hated the survival update.
I thought he was about to hit me with some like weird Minecraft replacement theories.
I played Minecraft in 2011, 2010, 2011 before the full release, and when the survival update came out, I fucking hated it. Petrock Vet, thanks for the 2 whatever BGN is. Dude, Nexus is red as shit hellhole. Yes, indeed. Indeed it is. Not gonna see any based mods on there, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's gonna be no based mods on Nexus mods. This might have been right around when there was like a mod that removed like the pride flag from Spider-Man. So that might have been that controversy, because Nexus mods got some shit for removing a mod that took out the Pride Month flags, from what I recall. But like, dude, there's so many like fucking gooner mods on Nexus. It's really hard to care about that. It really is hard to care about that.
I did have a problem recently with my Rumble account that it wasn't synchronizing all my video uploads. I don't know.
Rumble sucks. Rumble sucks. Old boomers use Rumble, okay?
One of the guys working for Rumble told me, and
of course, Rumble's bringing it the best and brightest.
Never got fixed or not. So I don't know if all my videos are on there yet or not.
There are Fuda mods for him, exactly.
Rumble's just not that great of a site right now. That's part of the problem. Matt Murdock, thanks $2. Also, YouTube allowed Rumble to advertise lol. Yeah, YouTube is probably the slimiest of the social media-esque sites in the sense that as long as they get their money, they don't really care about anything else. That's a big part of like why this Night Media or whatever it's called, Nightwing Media, something like that, that made so much sense to me. Like I had this theory about whitelisted channels, but it might just simply be that all of the whitelisted channels are part of a talent agency that pays YouTube to push the videos to the front page, which that makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I mean, it could be both things, you know, that
This is definitely not
other people I was thinking of that are not a part of that agency are just buddy-buddy with YouTube.
Night Media is one of those, like, YouTube talent agencies, I think. Hold on. Yeah, so this is, like, one of those humongous, like, talent agencies that does, like, venture capital and all that shit, right? So here they are. They're like, there's nothing on this site. Mr. Beast is apparently related to this in some regard, right? But yeah, you can't get a full roster of any of their talent or anything like that, which is very strange. Um, and yeah, they're also a capital firm, but that's what he's talking about. I really don't think they have that much of an impact on YouTube, if I'm going to take a guess here. But if it's an MCN, you could probably check that on the back end via Social Blade or another plugin. So
Am I a soy teen? I'm 27 and I don't consume soy, so no.
I hope not. Keep your eyes open.
yeah, and a spitting image of masculinity right here, chat. Jesus Christ. Once you get to the spicy shit, you know, like, come on. But yeah, this man is 27. No, he's 28 now. I want to know where he talks about the extreme conspiracy shit, but this is fucking 6 hours long. I'm just gonna skip to one of the timestamps that's in the chat.
Am I gonna do a Dead Island 2 video? No, no. I think I already made a community post about that, didn't I? He's 5'10".
But, like, is
Yeah,
it
so
a
Ellie's just,
massive comic book collection?
I
No, wait.
guess
I'm really
she would be about average height for female, but again, she doesn't look like a 16-year-old girl here.
I heard that's a thing.
Like, I know it's been a decade since I was in high school, almost, like, 9 years, but no.
He's edging really close to an edge here.
He looks weird. What am I drinking? A mix of wine and Coca-Cola.
Holy shit, Joel. Oh my god, it is a dinosaur!
She looks like a 16-year-old trans girl. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty accurate.
It's a motherfucking dinosaur!
Do not go around children. I have nothing. I know his T levels must be. You know when they were talking about so by the way, that study about men having microplastics in their balls was like on 23 men that all happened to have microplastics in their balls, so it's too small of a sample size. But he's the guy whose balls are made of microplastics.
Should have gave her Tifa's body. Listen, there are definitely teenage girls that look like that. I don't think any, though, when I was in school, none of them had,
How'd you find this place?
well, I guess Tifa in the remake, they shrank her boobs a little, so maybe.
Pretty great.
Ashley, thanks for $5. Trying not to stress too much about the world, stay aware, but enjoy the little things in life when they pop up, stay strong. That is good advice. I do,
It's a dinosaur book.
honestly, forcing positivity is better than being a doomer. Being a doomer fucking sucks. But, you know, you still have to be a realist to a degree. It's just that it's a dangerous road. You know, you have to be able to distinguish between realism and cynicism.
You're beyond cynical. You're just beyond just the worst kind of person ever. Like, I don't. You are 27 years old. Please stop talking about teenage girls' boobs.
Alright, I'm gonna grab Sam, because I keep hearing her.
Actually, it's a
Yeah, Deinonychus. Deinonychus.
Pretty sure these are velociraptors.
It's funny that they would do the dinosaur autism thing. I do know, you know, velociraptors were chicken size, and Deinonychus or Utah raptors were the large ones. Anyway, I'll be back in a second.
Bro,
get over here.
get a fucking haircut. Guys, he's not that bad of a guy anymore. He has a dog. I mean, it's his parents' dog, but he has a dog, guys. You know, he's not so bad, you know. Even the world's greatest monsters could still enjoy a pet.
And dino pilled. She's purposely looking away from the camera.
Okay,
don't know
I need
why
to
she
pull up
wants
the transcript for this. Looks terrified. He looks like a weasel, dude. He looks like a weasel. Give me some like conspiracy terms. Okay. Let's see. It's supposed to come out this year. I guess we'll see. Yeah, Forspoken. They lost a cartoonish amount of money on that game. Blah blah blah. It's all performative. That's why normies have some level. Have disgusted me over the past several years because most of them are blank. All right. Let's go a little further ahead. He hasn't said anything about bestiality yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. I better not be having fucking
Humor
internet
fucking
issues.
sucks. But, you know, you still have to be a realist to a degree. It's just that it's a dangerous road. You know, you have to be able to distinguish between realism and cynicism. Alright, I'm gonna grab Sam, because I keep hearing her.
Actually, it's
Hold on.
Yeah, Deinonychus. Deinonychus.
Pretty sure these are velociraptors.
It's funny that they would do the dinosaur.
There,
It's supposed to come
alright.
out this year. I guess we'll see. Yeah, Forspoken, they lost a cartoonish amount of money.
Yeah,
on
you'd
that
think
game.
he'd be saying more slurs, but I'm kind of waiting for something a little bit more crazy.
And I feel like they had to know what would happen. Even if they're secretly laughing at the gaijin for being, you know, woke tards or something, they must know on some level that
Man who does not speak Japanese has advanced knowledge on Japanese society, guys. Come on, come on. This white cracker, you know, he knows what he's talking about.
evangelists are a supreme minority. Like, normies don't actually buy the shit. It's all fucking performative, you know? That's why normies on some level have disgusted me over the past several years, because it's so... Most of them are fucking cowards. That's the thing. Like, if you're a weirdo, you know, well, part of the weirdo club, that's pretty much all of us here, let's be honest. You must know that the normies are not much better off than we are. Everyone is cucked these days. So...
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? What are the normies doing, and what quantifies as a normie? At what point are you a normie versus being based or like cringe? Who's he considered normie? Anybody that does not have values associated with his, basically.
Not literally cucked, you know what I mean? We're all lacking in testosterone. So, I forgot what my point was. What the hell? Why was I even saying that? I don't fucking know. Anyway, the point is that, you know, I think that's one of the... If you're someone who has, like, a lot of social anxiety like I do, one of the best ways to get over that is just to realize that a lot of normies are confident out of ignorance or arrogance.
That is not how you get over social anxiety. You actually need to go outside. You actually need to break down those barriers. Okay? You're socially anxious because you sit inside all day and have a fake pretend job. All right, buddy? That is why. They're not confident out of ignorance or arrogance. They're confident because they simply don't care if they look weird ordering Starbucks like a normal fucking person.
And that, you know...
Like, you are acutely aware and afraid of what people think of you. That's what I think.
Like, just because you're a fucking freak weirdo doesn't mean that they're worthy of respect, I guess. Is the way to say it.
Like you're walking around thinking you're so smug for having like social anxiety, like you're stupid. Like,
Comfy lad, thanks $10. Square is right with has it right with Final Fantasy 14, but not too much a lot of other things. I controversially didn't like Nier Automata as much as other people. I say this as a fan of the first Nier and Drakengard. Yeah, I never completely finished.
Hi,
Automata.
Cat.
I only finished 2B's campaign, so yeah, I'm with you. Ashley, thanks $5. When Hironobu Sakaguchi left Square, millions loved died. The merger with Enix.
that's he's just like reading off dinosaur crapola. Let's see if I can find. Well, the peak of my anxiety. Blah blah blah. Okay. Let's go a little further.
I'm not even that big of a fan of Souls itself anymore, you know. So I don't know. Was the peak of my anxiety? Were you completely unable to interact with others when it was really bad? Kind of. I mean, it was more just it's like, I guess it depends on if you make a distinction between unwillingness and incapability, you know? It's less about incapability and more like I just knew it would be awkward every time because I'm very short with people. And even as
I am mentally disabled.
my anxiety has diminished as I've gotten older, that hasn't changed. If I'm not interested in a conversation, I'm not going to be friendly. I'm not going to elaborate. I'm just going to give you... I'll give you one-word answers depending on what the context is. This literally just happened as we had to have... I've explained this before, but my mother didn't buy this house. She's renting it, and you know what? That's a whole thing. I'm not going to give you my personal life thing. Let me just say, it was a mistake. But, so, they have maintenance people. The owners have to approve maintenance.
No fucking way. Did his mom rent him a house? Did his mom rent him a house? What? Yeah, if you want to get over your anxiety, don't treat people like trash if they have an opinion that's different from yours. like I said last stream, a majority of people you meet in day-to-day life are so worried about themselves, they don't care about what you're doing. And generally, they're just, they're just chilling. You'd probably enjoy most people you interact with. Yeah, it sounds like his mom is renting a house and he lives with her. Yeah, maybe that's the case.
For shit in this house. We're gonna be out of here by the end of this year, thank God. But so the maintenance people came over here, and I was just telling them about the shower stuff. And when they were explaining what was wrong with the shower, I was just like, "Yep, yep." I mean, and it seems like they're expecting me to ask questions or say more, but I understood everything they were saying. I didn't have any questions.
I mean, that's not really the same thing as having like a social interaction, right? You're talking about a business transaction. Like what happens when you're in a social situation, right? That's a specific type of social situation. But let's say it's a more open-ended situation. Let's say you have friends in real life, right? I know you're a racist and you hate the fact that I'd fuck white bitches. Anyway. But let's say you're out with your homies, if you had any. You're out with the SS troop. You got your Hispanic SS member Manuel. You got the other SS member Fidel. You got the other SS member Juan. Funnily enough, despite being white nationalists, you were friend with nothing but exclusively Hispanics. And one Asian guy named Sun Tzu. You're all at the bar, and a white woman walks up to you, and she's like, "Oh my God, what do you do? Like, you're pretty cute." Like, that's a really open-ended conversation. What do you do? I work on YouTube. No chick wants to hear that. Nobody wants you to open up like that. Like, there are ways to, like, you need to have an ability to have small talk in a social situation where people are trying to get to know each other, right? It can't just be, That's different. The way you're acting with the plumber is normal. You don't want to ask the plumber, "Hey, man, how's your day? How are the wife and kids?" He's your plumber. Just let him do his job.
So when I was younger, that would bother me, like I was doing something wrong with the interactions. But as I've gotten older, it's just like, I mean, not really.
You have autism. You have undiagnosed autism. That is it.
I mean, there's a certain expectation too, depending on where you're from. Like, the South has a reputation for people being more friendly generally, and I would never really match the friendliness because I don't know these fucking people. Why should I pretend to be friendly, And so that was kind of a source of anxiety to some degree. But yeah, I don't know. I stopped giving a fuck after a while. I tend to freeze up or forget what to say to someone. It's probably OCD low, but
dude, all these guys who are talking, like the people who came in chat earlier and are like, you're a cringe lefty. Like, the thing is, none of these people would ever say this shit to you in public. Like they're talking in a place where they feel comfortable, right? And like the way they're talking is like, I'm nervous. It's hard to go outside. I struggle to order food. I struggle to leave my house. I struggle to have small talk. I struggle to meet people. I struggle to find love. I feel alone in the world. Nobody loves me. I am hated. And these people say things like this, and these are like the people you see in like on your college campus, and they're like this in their phone, not paying attention to anything. Like, I mean, obviously, yeah. Like the funny joke is like, they would never square up in real life if they were calling you these things. They'd like just hide behind a computer, and that's true. But like I can't even be offended, really, because it's so pathetic. It's just pathetic. It's just sad. It's just like, despite me being irritated and annoyed with all of his opinions, it's just like he's such an unproductive member of society. Like, I don't care. Like, he is nothing. Like, he literally is nothing. Same for me. I mean, I'm barely anything. I teach on occasion. I have friends and people who care about me. I'm sure he does too. But our impact on society as YouTubers is so minuscule and unimportant, that both of us could drop dead tomorrow. But the way he sees that is that he would probably see that as like the world is out to get him. And I see it as like, well, that's just a fact of life, and I will enjoy the moments I have here. You know, like, yeah, you have people that care about you, you're already winning. And you know, the thing is a lot of these guys probably have people that care about them too that probably aren't racist. You know, but they just became racist because they just don't do anything but sit inside all day and look for other reasons why they have these problems. Like, I know for young men, like, on one hand, you feel like the world is out to get you. And, you know, in some respects, I understand where that comes from. But, like, you actually just need to really put one foot in front of the other and actually walk outside. Because like, the world is not falling down. Like, you will find someone. I know that sounds crazy. And I know, like, oh, statistically, like, blah, 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 young people are having less sex on average. Yeah, but that's average. Like, go outside. I know that sounds so stupid, but it really does make a huge difference. Having that third place, that place where you can interact with people that are different than you. You'll find that when you have people in your life who care about you and you have friends in real life, right? You have a job, when you have to interact with people out there, you probably get de-radicalized a little bit, okay? Because you start to recognize people are pretty varied.
Like, if I'm buying food, I have to memorize to a T my order, otherwise I ain't eating. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to be like that when I was younger, too, where it was mostly talking on the phone. I still don't like talking on the phone, where it's like...
Incels aren't involuntary celibate because they could go outside or hire a prostitute type beat. Well, like, you know, the thing is that they're not looking for a prostitute, right? What an incel is doing, what a real incel is doing is saying, I'm unworthy of love, right? They're saying, I'm unworthy of love. I don't want to go out and find love because I'm unlovable. I've tried and I've failed, so I know I'm unlovable. But as a man, you realize that you actually just kind of have to keep trying multiple times, right? You need to actually, like, you're going to get no's, right? And dating apps are such a huge problem for this. Like, but if you go out to like a bar with your homies, like, you're going to talk to people, you're going to meet women. Probably you're going to get rejected the first time. You're like, hey, let's go back to my place. But as long as you're not creepy, at some point, you're probably going to get a yes. Like, so many... Like, the standards are a lot lower than a lot of guys think. I think a lot of guys think that you need to be like a Giga Chad who earns 6-figure income, who drives a Porsche, who's like super fucking shredded. You don't. You don't. Okay, like, Hal's been on stream before, and she's talked about what she likes in a guy. Her answer was, you just gotta be funny. Okay? And Hal's very pretty. I know you guys don't know but she's very pretty. But, like, you know, a bunch of guys would probably think, oh, I'd never, because she's so out of my league, because she's so, like, hot. No, you're, like, putting her on a pedestal. Okay? You're putting her on a pedestal, because that's not, like, you don't understand. Like, women don't just value those things. And you probably don't want a woman who values those things anyway. It's not easy to be funny, though. Just be nice and normal. Literally, be nice, be normal, shower. You're almost all the way there. Okay? And then you probably have something that's special about you. And that special thing is what will attract someone to you. Okay? But you actually need to put yourself out there.
I think a big part of interactions with humans is seeing their face, and then you can easily just naturally judge how to respond appropriately. I just don't like talking on the phone because I'm even more robotic at that point, because I don't know what the person, like, I'm not going to put any brain power into thinking about what the person on the other line is thinking. So I'm just going to say what I would normally say, and then it's just kind of just awkward. Now, ordering food's a little different because that is like an automated robotic interaction anyway, but just talking on the phone, I guess.
Like you hear it even there. Like, he's analyzing and being socially anxious about calling on a phone. Okay, like, this level of social anxiety is incredibly, like, detrimental to your mental well-being. Like, I don't even know how to begin to, like, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, but that's something you actually need to get out there and constantly, like, work towards improving. Or if you're somebody who might be, you know, fucking, you know, like, actually be autistic, maybe you need to learn coping skills or abilities to work with that and figure out how to recognize social cues. Maybe you struggle with that. Maybe that's something you need to learn. You know, maybe that's something that hasn't been taught to you and you just had no idea it was an issue. And now you're 27 and now you gotta fucking figure it out. Like at one point, your mother will die. Okay, synthetic man. At one point that'll happen. At one point mine will die. God bless. I love my mother to death. Right. But at one point that'll happen, and you will be alone, and you need to learn these skills now while you have her there as a safety net to go back to and be like, Mom, you know, I went out, I had a problem. What do I do differently? Assuming your mother is normal and not like crazy abusive, which I don't know, maybe that's the case. Like, you could use those elders as like a system to help you get over those things. Or he's talked about having a therapist before. You go, listen, I struggle to talk to people on the phone. I don't recognize their social cues. And a therapist will recognize that and start teaching you skills to be able to handle that better.
GAW004, thanks $2. Crap, I meant Armored Core 6, not MechWarrior. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, most likely I'm going to talk about Armored Core 6. Yeah.
Wow. Look at all these buttons.
Yeah, a good therapist should. A bad one will just enable your shit.
Yeah, I know. Like, Super Player X, I'm with you. It's like, movie games, I have no fucking clue why people jerk these off so much. They're fucking boring, dude. This is why... Dude. Anyway,
I think he might be an East Coaster, which makes this even worse.
Fucking, I never want to hear anyone who reviews movies talk about video games. It irrationally pisses me off. Because it's like, you fucking disgust me that you want to turn my interactive medium into your schlock. Stay the fuck away. I don't give a fuck if video games are the shittiest stories ever, because it's not the point. It's never been the point, ever.
You know, there was a guy who was on EFAP recently who was like giving the worst take about video games or whatever. I might have that saved. Hold on. It's actually really funny. Oh, Doomer Media. Here we go. Here we go. You guys will like this. So Doomer Media basically destroyed his entire career over this. This argument is fucking so insane. So all you need to know about Doomer Media is that he's like another political Andy with all these like crazy opinions, which all these guys are. But you'll like this. You'll like this.
More it'll be become
for it. That's how much they paid for
and
Star Wars.
It is not worth more than when they bought it.
I don't see how it could be worth more, really. Yeah.
No chance.
Hold on.
Really?
Is there? No, of course there isn't.
Wait, that isn't that high, honestly.
Is this one of the Mauler bros? EFAP is, yeah, Mauler's on this. That is ER. I don't know who most of these people are. Fuck, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Mauler, Rags, all these fucking people.
I think if it does end up being worth more, it'll be because some Star Wars mobile gacha game gets huge and kids start.
Oh my god, you're right. That's like the best thing they could do with the IP.
Well,
so Doomer Media is
stuff
that
to do with
that
video
guy.
games,
You might see
right,
his
where it's been
thing
more of
light
a
up, right?
mixed bag, as I understand it. Like a lot of people like the Jedi Fallen Order like game.
It's
But
okay.
Battlefront 2 kind of came out, was not well received, but then it improved later. But I think at this point, it's not an
Trying
EA
to find
exclusive
it.
thing anymore. They're now like
Yeah, no,
Ubisoft's
it's-
making a Star Wars game.
Remember when that was effect was reversed for Cyberpunk? So like, oh, the game sucks, and then Edge Runners comes out. It's like, let's play fucking Cyberpunk again! Yay!
Hey, make good shit, and then especially people went back to find the game was in a better state.
You said more. Hold on, I'm fine.
At the same
Yeah,
time,
go ahead.
different genres of video games have different
Oh, okay,
reliance
alright.
on specific elements. With a pretty significant one in a lot of games being story. Yet there's tons of games that you can play that have no story and just are designed more around their mechanics.
I mean,
but at the same
most-
time, mercenary
that's-
that
We'll start
runs
from
in the
there.
afterlife.
ER Rags.
But
That's all I
they-
did.
Oh my god. Nightmare blunt rotation. ER, Rags, heals versus babyface, Mauler, sometimes critical drinker. Okay.
The fucking story sucked, so I was like, "Fuck this," and I just walk around.
I mean,
and,
I
like,
don't even
fucking-
think the story's terrible.
So
It's
the
just
Doomer, this literally was like Doomer had like a schizo moment after this, and he like literally destroyed everything. Okay, and he was like spurging out. God, what else? The commentary community is like tertiarily involved in this, but I need somebody like Beckett here.
kind of the ticking clock element of it, I think, really kind of fucks with the gameplay loop because you're discouraged from wanting to go off and do side stuff because the whole thing is like you're gonna die any day now, and it's like, okay,
But that's some ludonarrative dissonance right there, right?
yeah, the ticking clock is a lie too. You won't die.
It's a lie.
Yeah, like I'm
Why
a
should we?
massive. I hate cutscenes,
dude.
I hate them.
You hate
The fucking story
cutscenes?
has so many cutscenes.
You-
No,
Well,
I, can't
I
stand
mean,
cutscenes. I don't
Wait,
care about
hold
story in
on,
video games. I just
explain
wanna play.
yourself.
I don't give.
What?
I've never played a video game with a story I gave a shit about. Not in my whole.
What?
fucking
Wow,
life.
I don't
What?
understand.
Not
You're
one.
such
Well,
a...
I know.
So he's like, I've never given a shit about any game I've played, like any story, right? So this is about to spiral out of control really quickly. And remember, it's a video game discussion.
There's one.
I asked
It's
you
called
for a bad
It's
take
called
like 2 hours ago. I didn't say
I might
now.
have to give you a reading list.
God
Okay, wait.
damn.
Come
Are
on,
you,
that
like,
can't be true.
speedrunning-
You've never
that-
cared about a story in a
these
game?
crazy takes.
You need a hug. I can hug you. It's fine.
That can't be true, dude. You have to think of something.
What
did-
games have you played? What
Fucking
games have you
most
played?
games barely have a story.
Have you
You're
ever
full of
played
shit.
role-playing games?
Most games barely have a story is a take.
Barely have a
What
story
game?
at all.
What could
What's
you?
the fucking
what games
story
you-
to
what-
Zelda
what-
or fucking
what-
Mario? Like,
I
What
mean,
story?
Jack
yeah,
shit.
Nintendo. That's one company.
It's pretty funny that
All right,
you.
I'll-
Like, what
I'll-
games
I'll-
have you played this year? Out of
let's
curiosity.
crank up Steam. I'll go down my fucking Steam list.
Dude,
And
Crank
see
it
what
up.
has a good story.
Crank up
Okay, New
Steam.
Vegas. New Vegas has a good story.
Man,
Wow, so your statement is invalid already. Nice.
So now he's like, this is where he's like, yeah, I guess my statement is invalid. There are story games that I like.
Yeah, GG. First thing
Got
you
him.
saw,
Get fucked,
wreck
loser.
yourself.
What's actually
Right? Like, you just need to take an L there, right? But that's not what's going to happen because the clip is 31 minutes long, guys.
First thing I
funny is
saw,
I
I'm,
was
I'm
gonna say,
going
I
through
think
like
it's-
100 games. I see one.
It
so
doesn't
far.
matter if you just said that was a good one. You said there's no good story you ever played.
Why were you sitting there silently while we were shitting on Craig Mazin for all of his reductive takes on video games? You were hiding this take. from us.
all along.
So when I say that I don't give a fuck about stories in video games, what you're concerned with is the exact data point of 0 games with good stories. You're not like.
No, didn't you
Fucking
just
donkey.
I
If there's,
didn't-
if
I
there's
didn't-
one,
I'm
then that
100%
means
sure
there can be
none.
more. If you
didn't you
There's
just
one that could be more, yeah.
say? I'm sorry, I need to find out. What did you say? Hold on.
if
Well,
there's
I
one, then
I
that can
said
be
I
more.
hate cutscenes and I don't give a fuck about stories
No,
in video games.
well,
I just want to
you-
play the game.
You said
Like-
more. Hold on, I'm finding
At the same
Yeah,
time,
go ahead.
different genres of video games have different reliance on specific elements, with a pretty significant one in a lot of games being story. Yet there's tons of games that you can play that have no story and just are designed more around their mechanics.
I mean,
But at the same
most-
time,
most-
to say that like all video game stories are shit, it's
Sorry,
like,
so
well,
what
I
you
mean,
said
okay,
is-
first
you don't
of
care
all,
about
hold on.
you don't
Wait,
care
wait,
about
wait,
the
hold on.
cinematics.
So what you
Hold
said,
on.
what you
Hold
said
on.
is you've
I
never
did not
played a
say
video
all
game
Hey,
with a
video
story.
everybody.
stories are bad. I
What
don't
you
give a
s-
fuck
what
about
you
it.
s- so what
Oh.
you said is you've never played a single video game with a story you've given a shit about. What does
Oh,
that
okay.
mean? What does that mean?
It means that I don't give a fuck about stories in video games. I play for the gameplay. I don't like. If I want a story, I'll watch a movie or read a book. I won't play a video game.
Then why did you
my
then
fucking
need to
God.
go through your like Steam list to talk about good or bad like stories in
And
video games?
immediately you saw
Because I
games-
asked him
Fucking
to.
insane.
New Vegas is loaded
You act
with
like
good
that was a completely fucking insane statement. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go check. And I found one. There's New Vegas has a pretty good story. I don't see a
That was
single
like the
other one
first
here.
game you even
This-
I
mentioned.
honest, but
Now-
like, what's interesting about you picking
There's
New Vegas though is
150
I
games
would
on my
argue
Steam.
that, but New Vegas is arguably a game that's got 150 decent stories in it that have nothing to do with each other.
Would you
Like,
like the
actually,
story
you picked
better
a game
if
that
it-
is extremely dense with several stories.
I don't play video games for story. I never, under any circumstances, want you to stop me from playing
Under
the
any
game to watch a fucking cutscene about some shit. I just don't want that. I want to play the game.
So,
but I
what
mean,
if
that's
the,
kinda
what if
like
the story is
saying, like,
told well without cutscenes?
Yeah, like
in what game are we talking about?
Metroid
The,
Prime.
the hypothetical game that he mentioned.
Well, hypothetical, yeah, a game that has
It's
no
already
cutscenes,
theoretically
it's all-
possible, so you can just agree with the theoretical, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Being
you baked in the conclusion. I mean, like you're like, well, what if the story was told really good and like you just didn't even need to pay attention to it? It's like, well, then I would hold on the fucking space.
I never said you didn't need to pay attention to
Too many
it.
people in this call to fucking speed it up. Jesus.
That's not what I said.
Told through the gameplay is what.
My problem with like shows and podcasts like this is that you just bring out too many fucking people to talk. It's like, yeah, bro should have just taken the L. Like, absolutely. He should have just been like, yeah, I guess I'm wrong. And then moved on. But he wanted to argue the semantics of it.
That said.
Yeah.
So like no cutscenes, it's all in gameplay. Like while you're exploring freely, you can move about how you want, interact with the world how you want, and get the story at your own pace.
Journey.
Is there an example?
I get 4 people on max. This is ridiculous. I know. This is like you brought in like the class. They'll have a Socratic discussion.
This
Journey. He just said Journey.
You don't actually need an example, though. That's the point.
You don't need one, though. Yeah.
I do,
one
because I
is-
don't even know what you're talking about. Like,
Did
what
you
do
know
mean
that it's
experiencing
an
the story through
indicator of
gameplay?
low
Have you
IQ
never played a game
individuals
without
that can't
cutscenes?
Engage with hypothetical.
I've never played a game without cutscenes that have
Have
a
you ever
story
played
that I gave a shit
Oh
about.
my
I don't think
god,
so,
you
no.
don't know what environmental
stop.
storytelling is?
You don't know what environmental storytelling is?
Stop it.
Okay, give me an example. If this is such a fucking obvious
You
thing,
just
then give me
had
an
one.
example.
You gotta stop doing that. Like you just got given an example.
Okay, have you ever?
Now you
I haven't
got
played that
given an
game.
example.
Remember, I'm gonna give you an
So-
example right. Have you ever played any survival horror game in which you see a trail of blood leading around a corner?
I've like literally never played a horror game.
Oh my
I don't like
god!
horror.
I haven't played every video game. I don't like any stories in video games. It's such a matter of fact statement that he should have never made it on a podcast like this.
You never played a horror game, really?
No, I don't like horror. I don't like it in video games. I don't like it in movies. I don't like horror. Period.
Soma is one of the best horror games writing ever made, so go for it. Now is the time, my friend.
A lot of people are pointing out Half-Life has no like cutscenes. It's all in gameplay, like in engine. Of course, Metroid Prime is another one that has like cutscene at the beginning and the end of the game, but like more or less, it's just going through the environment at your own pace. If you play a lot of stealth games, you could just
Well, but
skip
what's
the
the
cutscene
story
to
of
get all
Metroid
the story.
Well, Soma's pretty limited on cutscenes. There's hardly any.
Yeah,
The
it's
story of
all in
Metroid
game.
Prime, there's a Metroid that's been infected with this material called Phazon, and that character becomes this thing called Metroid Prime that eventually kind of turns into a
Well, so-
clone of Samus throughout the trilogy. And
An example that I think is worthwhile in Metroid Prime is when you find out the operations of the space pirates, and then like you gather a lot of information about their.
So they're
presence
giving
on
him
Zelda.
examples now. He's going to get more mad. He's going to get so mad that he's going to leave this call, by the way. Okay, this is going to be a build-up.
What's it's Talon 4, right? That's the name of the planet. Yeah, like on the planet and how they did experiments and shit went totally wrong, and that's like all stuff that you can pull from like exploring the environment, scanning data logs. Like none of that is like exposition. It's not delivered through cutscenes, but it's all a story that you glean at your own pace. It's something that video games are uniquely positioned to do. Environmental storytelling.
Yeah,
Dark
Souls
Souls
and whatnot.
If I have the option to take the story at my own pace, then I'll just ignore it.
But I mean, that's what I mean.
I feel like it takes it so bad you could argue against them.
Like that. That
It's not even okay. First of all, hold on. No. Now I'm fucking triggered. This isn't a take. I'm not saying story in games are bad. I'm saying I don't give a fuck about them.
They
okay?
gave
That's
you
completely
counters to
different.
your argument,
I'm
and you
not
went
making
all the
a
way
pre-
back
I'm
to
not-
I
no,
don't
no,
care
no, no.
though.
I'm not making a prescription that video games shouldn't have fucking stories.
No, you didn't pay
I'm not making a
attention to how the
prescription about
argument went.
anything.
They
I
gave you a
just don't
counter, and you
care.
said I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about it. I've never enjoyed it.
Your
It's not
initial
something I
state was
value.
fucking
It's not something that
inaccurate.
I care about.
But Doomer,
Is there such a game that has a good story without cutscenes? The answer is yes, both theoretical and with proven examples. And then you went, but I don't care about it. That's a fucking shit response.
Oh my god. Imagine, okay, like if you're going on EFAP, right? You are expected to argue, all right? And Doomer should be I've been told that Doomer is a moron and a bit cuckoo. But from that, yeah, now they're litigating his opinion. But like, why? I don't understand. Just like be like, okay, and then move on with your fucking day.
Get over it!
You're telling me you think it's good. I'm telling you I wouldn't give a fuck.
No, you
Because I
said,
wanna play
tell
the
me about a game that is a good story that doesn't have cutscenes. You were giving examples, bitch.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I think you can mend the divide here. So
I'm
Doomer,
glad that we don't have to start off the new year with a terrible Doomer take. We can just end with one.
In America, we don't have to begin the year, but in Britain, we did.
Doomer, film.
This isn't even a take. This is you guys fucking.
It's on New Year's, yeah. Oh my god.
It's not a take. Saying that I don't like horror movies is not a take. It's not saying that horror movies are bad. No, it is not.
Yeah, it is.
It's just my preference. I'm not saying anything is wrong with horror movies. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying that there's a fucking. No, that is not a take. Saying that I don't like a classic thing is not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you liking it. If I say, for example, that Top Gun Maverick is a piece of shit, that's because there are flaws with the movie that should affect you if you're fucking paying attention to it.
I
There's
think
nothing
maybe
wrong
this is
with
a
horror
great
movies.
moment for
I
me to
just don't
say,
like them.
Happy New Year. I'm gonna hop out. It's been really good.
Oh, thank God,
time.
some guy left. Thank Christ.
Lovely to hear from you,
more,
Em.
you prick.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much.
He
I wanna
argues
come
how
off-
I argue, Cat. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing, Cat. Apparently, Hal heard when I talked about her on stream.
for a really fat at some
Dude,
point.
Em, you should be the one that annihilates him the most. You do a lot of gaming stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is that even he knows that this is a stupid thing to say. And
That's actually the most aggressive thing you've ever said.
Yeah.
Even he knows that.
I don't
what he said
understand.
was-
Can somebody please explain what is wrong with me not liking stories in video games?
The problem with your take is that, one, you won't listen to anybody else's arguments. Okay? And that's the problem. And then two, you literally disproved your own take in the same sentence. Diesel, you have 55 people watching you who all adore Hal. Of course you found out.
Oh, wait, Happy New Year. I love you guys so much. I'll see you later.
Let me see. Right, I think he leaves the call.
Bye-bye. What I was going to say is it might be worthwhile to walk through the chronology of what happened here. So I think your initial claim was that you hate cutscenes. That was like claim number one. And
I'm
then
gonna skip forward to it.
No, we can walk through this.
You know what? I wasn't
If I-
right about that. That's kind of it.
I spoke too hastily, of course.
'Cause, like-
if I say that I don't care about a class of thing, can you show me something that I would give a fuck about? And you show me something that's like, okay, I don't give a fuck about that. How does that
That's not-
disprove anything that I said?
Well, but that's not what happened though. Like,
Did
you were
I
asking-
at any point say there's
So
something
what-
wrong with? No, stop. Let me talk. Did I at any point say there's something wrong with storytelling in video games, or that you're wrong for liking storytelling in video games, or there's something wrong with cutscenes? Did I make?
You know, now that I know this is on New Year's, Cloudy, you are so right. You are so right.
any claim like this at all, or did I just say that I personally don't like it? And is there
Sorry,
anything wrong with it? Because I can give you an analogy. An analogy is somebody saying, I don't like violent movies. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
But that literally wasn't your point. Is he drunk? I don't know. Somebody in chat was like, apparently, like, Doomer lies quite a bit, or fibs, and exaggerates. He was involved in some drama with, like, Willie Mack and, like, I think President Sunday. I can't fucking remember. He got on another streamer's thing, JStalk, and they had, like, an argument on there, too. And all of these arguments started, and every single piece of drama with Doomer started because of this clipped EFAP clip. Okay, because of this stream. It, like, turned into, like, it completely rolled out of control. I've gotten completely off track from the stupid idiot. Hold on. Let me go a little further.
Knows that, but Will Smith actually
Do we
doesn't.
start looking to Doomer? He's kind of a nobody. He's just like a little character in, like, political tube and, like, film criticism tube.
I don't say it like that, but I don't know. It's still kind of funny. Have I ever met an LGBT person that you wouldn't know was LGBT unless they told you? Well, I mean, no one has told me. No one who. This is again. You can type in drinking. Nobody who is stealth gay has told me they were gay. There you go. That's what I wanted to say.
Nobody who is stealth gay has told me they were gay. Most people don't walk up to you and be like, "Hello, I'm a homosexual."
What the fuck? I'm glad I didn't miss that. This is again the problem with like.
I honestly don't know if he's met anybody that was like gay.
All these canned animations in video games. Like, if it was an old game, you would just kick the door open. It'd be an animation that, you know, even if it somehow didn't touch the door or didn't look realistic.
Well, everyone knows because of Fallout that bisexuals do 10% more damage. So
at least it felt like you were doing it.
I'm gonna do it when I meet you, boss. Hi, I'm a top switch.
Here. Oh. Hey, whose birthday is it?
You can't keep doing that.
I want a good splash. We've got more exploring to do.
To be for real, someone else did break an agreement bringing up the video he owed someone, but that was honestly fair. He's just something else and a side character. Yeah, that's basically the gist of who Doomer is. Let's see. I know, Doomer should meet Food 11 Cockmaster. He might actually burst into flames if he meets Food 11
Actually, thanks,
Cockmaster.
$10. Japanese devs banking on the Western market is a big oversight. American millennials are a big population, but most are broken in debt. They have no issue pirating content and tell you they stole it. A big problem, too, is, again, just the performative wokeness, where it's like normies will just tell you whatever it is to get off their fucking back, which, you know what? Like, that's fine. If
Okay, if you start talking, like, extreme politics with somebody, they tend to not want to have that discussion. That's, like, not weird.
I think that's okay. That's fine. I'm not saying everyone needs to fucking pack up their rifles and start solving problems. I'm just saying that they don't stand for anything. I don't like that at all.
But I don't even think you stand for anything. I don't think you would defend any of your points. Like, the problem is, right, is that, like, the level of political involvement is either, like, 100% you must become completely radicalized, pick up a gun, and start fighting, or it's sit in front of your computer and do nothing. And, like this kind of stuff of sitting here and talking and doing nothing is, like, the least valuable form of political activism. It does so little.
Junkie, thanks for $2. Will Smith equals simp. What a time not to be alive. Yeah. Yeah, well, Will Smith being basically a cuck. Kind of literally a cuck, actually. I can't remember who the rapper was.
Yeah, he's literally a cuck, but, you know.
Sora is a dinosaur.
He put himself in that situation. Doesn't that make you feel so old? That was a year ago, guys. The Will Smith slap. It's a year ago.
How many of them have been female? Are they actually all female? It's a China woman. Ji Jing, whatever. Fuck you. I don't have to. I'm an American. I say things in American, which is shitty English, British garbage. This is. Nah, I killed for them.
Yeah, he's doing right-wing virtue signaling. Yeah.
Bing shilling. Yep, there you go. There's actually a combat part in this. You know, the stragglers who snuck into camp, they just wanted to decide to paint the walls, his lamentations. I don't know. Nah. The people in the van, we locked them in and doused it with gas. Yeah, and well, you helped them. It's too late to have regrets, fucko. You did it. There is no light. I don't feel like... I'm not gonna read all of it. Whatever, he became a monster. He regrets killing the totally innocent people that are probably not innocent. And would have done the same.
What? I need to... He says the word Aryan there.
Excessive cursing, modern video game writing. Yeah, it sucks. An Aryan A50, Chad. What does that mean? A50. I don't know.
A50, fuck. Okay, so he's not actually... He could be deeper down the rabbit hole, okay? I'm pretty sure A50 is, like, the color of eyes that is, like, blue. And Yeah.
RQ, I guess to answer that question without reading it out loud, but whatever, anyone can read it, fuck it. I also didn't really like how it just numbed my emotions. That's basically how antidepressants function. I guess I can't
This guy is speaking for everybody with antidepressants.
speak for all of them, but
well, yeah.
The only reason it is antidepressive in any way is because it turns you into a zombie, basically.
You need to talk with your psychologist to get medication that works for you. Okay? I got really lucky, but it's not everybody that gets lucky with their medication.
Lightweight. Yeah. Yeah. Even during the Everclear stream, I only drank... well, I don't know. I drank a decent amount, which is why I threw up. I was completely blasted during both the times I drank it. I can't remember if the second time I streamed or if I just privately drank. That one guy, thanks $5. When's the next Dragon's Dogma stream? I've been violently attacking strangers while I wait for it. Is there really any demand for another Dragon's Dogma stream?
Let's see. We'll go a little further. I'm just going to try and peruse this to see. To see if there's anything spicy. I mean, he probably does. Okay, he's talking about somebody here.
I feel the monkey neuron activation meme with this new emoji button. It certainly is activating something.
Is this the right place? Definitely the right place.
Doomer to Gnostic pipeline. I'm not sure.
There is a Doomer to Gnostic pipeline. He doesn't know what that is.
Sure.
I'm guessing he doesn't know what that is. But like the amount of guys who go from like I think the world is out to get me to believing in witchcraft is like that exists.
Anti-schema, yeah. Ways of getting around the filter are funny to me. I don't know. I'm not going to answer that question. Is ER controlled opposition? No.
Yeah, so Gnosticism is like an esoteric like religion. Spirit Science is Gnostic. If you've ever seen him, he's like the guy who says the moon is hollow and that Atlantis is real. So there's like a pipeline of guys who go like, the vibrations in the sky are dictating my personal well-being, right? And that's like the male equivalent of like witchcraft girlies, except they also believe in like conspiracy theories. We also do witchcraft girlies, but you know that's another one.
No, but I think I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if his views are less extreme now. His videos have gotten less.
So he's talking about ER. And his opinions getting less edgy over time.
Which, honestly, it's pointless to be less edgy if you're already...
I gotta be honest. I said this... I forget where I said this, but I was like, I got a lot less edgy when I got laid. Like, I stopped being so based when I got laid. And I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is.
Shadow banned. Like, his videos literally get, like, 10 to 20% of the views they used to get. I've said this before. He used to get, like, views in the 2 to 3 million, I think, was, like, a lot of his older videos. And now it's, like, 200,000. So, or, you know, maybe they've gotten a bit more since the last time I looked. But the point is, if you're already shadow banned, why would you bother being less edgy? I don't know.
Shadow banning doesn't exist. I'm sorry. I think for the majority of people, it doesn't exist. I think sometimes content just doesn't resonate with people. And, like, Synthetic Man, you're just gonna put people off when you hit them with the race statistics, okay? Like it's just gonna put people off.
The theory would be that maybe he is, you know, he has gotten less edgy over time. Who knows? Yeah, sometimes I wonder about the EFAP connection there, but considering, not that I would know from watching, but from what I've read, he doesn't even really talk on the episodes he's on. So, like...
And by the way, EFAP also makes fun of Synthetic Man, okay? So that's how much of a EFAP, okay? The guys we just watched where Doomer was getting combed over for fucking video games. They make fun of this guy, okay? Synthetic Man gets mocked.
Is he really doing it for them? Why does he even show up? Just
Dude, Coochie saves. So real. Holy shit, so real.
Coochie saves.
I don't like that's such a stupid thing to say, but it's like I don't even know how to describe it. I just know that when I got laid, I stopped being cringe. Like
for promotion? I don't fucking know, dude.
Listen, man, we watched your the Fudacock clip earlier that you clipped, okay? But like, save whether or not he makes me angry. I think, honest to God, I don't really give a shit. Like, I'll turn this off and I really won't think about him unless something comes back at the end of the day. Like I said, I would talk to him. I think he's really sad and he needs help. Like, genuinely. Like, genuinely. Like, if I'm putting aside, like, all pretense and, like, showiness, which is part of this, like, I just think he's, like, he needs to go outside. Would you collab with him? I said I would talk to him. I don't agree with his beliefs. But I think he can become white pilled. Okay? I think he just needs to like get out more. I really think that a lot of his opinions was like change if he unironically, I think his opinions would change if he laid pipe. Unironically. Full stop. Yeah, I also just became less edgy as I got older. Really. Like, I joke about it. And I think his opinions on, like, race mixing are really fucked up. And just wrong. But there's a beautiful black girl out there that wants to husband him up, okay? And that just needs to be found. Who knows? It's like EFAP won't have him on. I guess Diesel will. That'll be funny. I'm sure it would turn into a screaming match. I know, he needs a BBW. I think that's a harder sell. I think I can sell him on a mixed race relationship. I don't think I can sell him on a big girl. Okay? I don't think I can sell him on a big girl. But unironically, like, if you go on his stream, you can maybe tell him about stopping to talk about Fuda, please. It's become harder and harder to defend him as I George, I gotta be honest, dude. I think he's just bi. I think he's just bi. And he's like in a bad spot to like identify with it. But I think he's just bi. I'm sure like if he got out into the real world though, you gotta condition him. I'll take him for a set at the gym too. I will de-radicalize him. But yeah, he probably should stop talking about the food in public. I think it's probably gonna ruin his image. It probably already has. I mean, I've already contributed to that, which I think is completely justified. But he's not really like it's really easy to defend your opinions when the person's not talking back to you. Diesel, I can fix him. He stopped working out, plus he's now addicted to wine. Jesus Christ. That's really sad. That's really sad to hear. BBW put him in his place. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I have no idea who the fuck that is, and I am definitely not gonna check. But yeah, I honestly, unironically, I have a feeling he'd probably be an annoying fucking Warhammer fan. Diesel check. Sure. Okay. What? Oh, okay. It's a female synth fan that claims synth prevented her suicide because of his vids. Okay. All right. Let's take a look.
I can't believe this is where my channel is gonna go. I'm gone for a week playing a certain kind of game, and I come back and I see this and I cry. Ladies and gentlemen, it is confirmed that our base Doomer boy is gay. Oh no, guys, he's not gay for liking Fuda, because it's not Fuda without the vagina. Like, really? Come on, man. It's gay truny porn. It's bad. It's not based, it's gay. Ugh. Alright, sorry. I just gotta keep my mouth.
This is super autistic, bro. Holy shit. What? Holy shit.
Poser. Look, this video is gonna be hard for me to make, okay? Like, I'm literally gonna be shitting on one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. So just give me a break. Well, I don't know if it's dumping more or I'm just so confused. I just want an answer for this kind of thing. Like, why? Why, man? Why? Why does this happen every time I find a YouTuber I love? Something like this happens. So let's get on with the video.
Like, dude put himself in such a bad position talking about his fetish, dude. I can smell this woman through the screen. Bro, you know she got like a bacterial culture festering down there, bro. Listen, Synthetic Man, you can be fixed, but not with this one. Keep this one, stay away from this one. This one will actually hurt you. This one is a problem. Bro, you guys, I get you guys are fans of him, but you are his biggest ops right now. I got. She has a boyfriend somehow.
So as you guys know, I love Synthetic Man. Not as much as I used to, but I enjoy him still, even to this day. So it's so weird to me that he started off as a faceless doomer guy on the internet that grew to be so successful with a giant fan base, marketing himself towards people who don't have a voice and right-wing gamers, and then ruin it all in that one moment, explaining why he's in the true porn, and I'm just gonna call it TP. I really don't understand, like, what is going on? Why is he telling us this now? Like, is he just comfortable talking about this degenerate, disgusting garbage? Let me remind you that he's always complaining about truny stuff in media. He always complains about furries and modern women and leftist media. Like, he complains about the stuff that Fuda is a part of. So it makes you look like a hypocrite. Man, this video is so hard to make.
Yeah, he put himself. Again, I don't agree with what this young lady is saying. I don't fuck with her language at all, but like he put himself in such a stupid position. You know, when he like branded himself as the chud, to not think like, oh, this wasn't gonna bite you in the ass. Like, for his audience, this is clearly a big fucking deal. I mean, we have the Joker profile picture guy here. Okay, we have this very interesting young lady here.
Like, I am just guffawed right now. I'm just stunned. I mean, like, this is...
Like, guys, I don't think he's gonna stop jerking off to Fuda. You know, I think you guys could rip him as much as you want. The more you try and push him away from it, the more he's gonna want it. You know? Considering how invested he is in it, does Synthetic Man believe in gay miscegenation? I honestly couldn't tell you. I feel like the race mixing thing and the gay thing kind of inhabit two different spheres that are close to each other, but part of the same conspiracy theory. You could just join his stream and type Fuda, and he'll talk about it like it's fucking crazy. He really is that Coomer brain. Holy shit. Like, I honestly, he gives like his right brain hemisphere is miscegenation, the left brain hemisphere is gay.
This is the guy that us gamers, true gamers, are trying to look up to. This is the guy that I personally relate to. You know, he seems like the boy next.
I gotta be honest, this feels like fucking bait. This feels like she's doing like a bit. This really feels like a bit.
Store, that friend that you hang out with and playing games and having fun, eating Cheetos, getting that all over your dick and shit. But now he just seems like a degenerate to most. Like, I'm not on the bridge of thinking he's beyond saving or a total traitor, or he doesn't make anything good. Again, I said this before. He could have to do something really bad for me to hate him, like really bad. But it does make me lose some respect for him. Like, have some self-respect, man. Like, Synth, you don't have to share everything online. Like, why even bring this up? And he's so shocked.
That's also true. You didn't need to share that online, but you know he did.
Nah Diesel, you don't understand, he's gay because he hates race mixing. Can't have a mixed race baby if the BBC blowing his back out is attached to a woman.
He did mention, so he mentioned Fuda, but he said that there's other sexual stuff that he doesn't want to tell the internet. Which, like, what does he mean by that? Like, isn't that like an alarming thing to hear from somebody? You know, like, what is that? What does that mean?
People in his chat are calling him out, and rightfully so, about this gross, disgusting fetish. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? You marketed yourself to the people that are against leftist politics and this kind of work.
Yeah, what is? Yeah, exactly. No, she's right. You marketed yourself to people who are like anti-leftists.
And now you're surprised? Like you didn't know? So the reason I know this stuff is because of Carl Summer's video, which you guys should watch. It's like, man, when he's called out for this disgusting behavior, and then he gets mad at the chat and says, oh, well, you normies will understand why I like it. It's a very integrated and cosmic way of thinking. It's very complicated. You wouldn't understand me. It's super complicated thinking. Like, dude, cut the shit. You're just into cock and balls with vagina. It's not that complicated. A fetish develops over time, which means you've been looking into this stuff for years, which he confirms, by the way. He confirms that he's been looking at this stuff, and he's been interested in it ever
since he was young. I guarantee, yeah. Yeah, like I said, this stuff, this kind of, like, this is a fetish, right? This developed when he was young, you know? So this wasn't, like, this is something he's always had. He probably has a lot of self-hate about it. There's no way he doesn't, you know? There's no way he doesn't. So it had to come from somewhere back when he was younger, which is why I said the mom connection is probably important, because his mother seems to be a really important figure in his life. Seems to be the only person he maintains social communication with. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if his mom is probably a pretty domineering figure. That's probably how the Fuda fetish developed. And a lot of his frustration and anger probably does come from, like, a repressed, like, sexual identity. I wonder what his relationship with his father is like. If I'm taking a guess, based on his, again, I'm sexually psychoanalyzing him. Dad probably wasn't a good guy. He probably had a pretty antagonistic relationship with his father, I'm guessing. He could be into scat or piss. Well, if he's into scat, that's like a really humongous red flag, right? Diesel should have become a psychologist. Yeah. I don't know. If this YouTube thing doesn't work out, you know, I could always do something else like that. I'm sure I'd be great. I could fix all the doomer incels. Either his dad was a drinker and beat him before leaving, or just wasn't there at all. Yeah, that could be how his drinking started. He likes his father. He always calls him on stream from time to time. Oh, interesting. But his mom and dad seem to be separated, or that's the vibe I get. This is really great. I'm glad that we got you people here, and you're not like spurging out the fact that I disagree with them.
What the hell, man? Again, fetish is different from preference. Preference is something like, oh, I
They're
like
separated. Okay.
chubby guys.
Yeah, I didn't expect to have a lore master here.
Tweets, but I can live without it depending on the guy's personality. A fetish is something that develops and catches your interest, and it's usually something not normal, like inflation or feet. Hell, even anal. What I'm saying here is, it's a bunch of crap when Synth says, well, you can't explain why you're into feet, so I can't explain why I'm into cock and balls. It's like, yeah, in a cosmic way, we can't explain what we're attracted to, but that doesn't mean that's an excuse. Again, a fetish develops, and the fact that he said he wouldn't stop unless he found a loyal wife, like, I'm sure you could find one if you looked for it, and if she found out you're into this, she would leave you in a heartbeat. No intelligent, traditional loyal woman would ever tolerate that, unless they wanted
Does he talk to creators often, or is he like pretty separate? I don't disagree or agree with him. I find the lore surrounding his downward spiral interesting, as we were in the middle of it. Yeah, that's a good one, Red Kitten. Dad, fun parent, mom, not. I don't know what scat. I didn't know what scat is. Why is that a thing? I'm sorry.
for money, or they are just that exception that would deal with it, or hey, maybe you'll get lucky and she's into it herself. My point is, no woman would want to be into Fuda, and this fetish he's into is really gross, and I don't understand why he gets mad at the chat for
Bro, there are plenty of women who'd peg him. Just...
Now, moving on.
Maybe the mom's a drinker and beats him. That's true. That would align up with my theory that his mom is a domineering figure in his life.
I can't.
Right. And sometimes we develop the addictions of our parents because we live with them, right? Or we have a higher proclivity to develop the addictions that our parents have. Not always the case, but that's possible. He spoke with Think Before You Sleep, Griffin Gaming, and Memeology 101 in chat. Okay. But that's in chat. That's not like on a call. Also explains his easy access to alcohol. Yeah, because she would keep bringing it in, especially if she's a big drinker.
Answer this question. I really can't. Because, I mean, he says he's not gay. Someone just told me he has a girlfriend. I don't even know if that's true. But he says that it needs...
I don't know if he has a girlfriend. I don't think so.
A vagina, otherwise it's not a fuda, which is funny because the balls and ding dong I would think would get in the way. But it's also a girl, or it looks like a girl, so it's just TP, man. It's TP. It's women with male genitals. So I would think that would get in the way. I don't want to call him anything, but I don't think a completely straight man would be in the fuda. I'm just saying. Like, do you actually think a straight guy would be into which is just actually gay and true hentai? I'm just saying. Just put it out.
I'm guessing, I'm going out on a limb here. I'm gonna guess that he doesn't listen or talk to creators he disagrees with very often, though. Because those are all some pretty base creators you just listed off, right?
There. So, he's gay. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just...
And again, I wouldn't want to talk to him through chat. I'd want to actually fucking speak, like, voice to voice. Pretty sure Synth has blamed women for his life situation before, but he's given up on women and is trying to get into guys.
Very weird and hypocritical that he hates gay media and degenerate stuff. But he himself is a degenerate. It's like, I don't know where else to take this. It's just so depressing and sad at the same time.
That's an insane picture that just popped up on stream, and I... Jesus Christ. We are deep.
Man, I really do. I just... It's just so hypocritical, man. It's so hypocritical. Like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. You know, like, there's two camps for Synthetic Man, right? There's the people who think he's overrated and a bad guy, and then there's people who think he's, like, one of the best YouTubers of all time. For me, I just think his videos are really, really good. You know, I love his videos. But unfortunately, this revelation changes things, and I think it changes more than people realize. Because now it shows you can't really trust him anymore. I mean, you know, he's into lefty art. Because who else makes this stuff? I mean, Synthetic Man was already on some sort of...
He's extremely lazy. That's why he doesn't collab. He even admitted Okay, he streams, I stream. All he needs to do is hop on a Discord call with me. That's it. Yeah, he's going through his lefty arc. This is an insane video. Oh my god. God, this is wild.
Thin ice with me, especially when I made that video about the...
I know, listen. I said it last stream too. I mean, obviously I've memed. I am incredibly fascinated by this guy. You know, in the same way I'm fascinated by some of these other characters that like become lolcows and shit, right? It's just this inability to not stop stepping on rakes, right? And like he could be like the base chud gamer. I don't really care, but like, you know, obviously there's a bit of like comedy in the fact that he hopped on stream of his own volition and talked about the Fuda thing, right?
Leaving because his doomer attitude is annoying sometimes. And like, oh, the world's bad, the world's never gonna change, everything sucks, I'm never gonna find a girlfriend. Oh my god.
George is in that chat, in that stream pod. The guy that's in chat right now is in chat here. You're too intimidating for him. Listen, man. Like, all these, like, quote-unquote centrists or, like, all these, like, wokies aren't having discussions about it, and they're just, like, ignoring him and mocking his shit. You know? I haven't seen anybody else be like, I'd actually talk to him. I'd actually talk to him. He might say something fucking crazy, but I'd talk to him.
Like, dude, I understand that some things may seem bad. Like, right now...
No. Generally, here's the thing. George, he's never gonna stop. George, you're in chat right now, in this VOD, in this clip, saying Fuda for life, and you want him to stop talking about Fuda? Yeah, he's never gonna stop jerking off to Fuda. It's just not gonna happen. I'm trolling. Man, my biggest ops are always my fans, bro. Holy shit. Yeah, generally, saying you don't like race mixing is gonna turn off women. I'm a synth troll fan. This George guy's based. He's all over the place. He's like when Ghetto 2 Mad shows up in chat.
Things are bad, but like you're not gonna do anything or change anything by sitting on your ass and not doing anything about it. It's like those MGTOW men that are like, oh, men's rights, we don't have enough rights, and it's like, well, when you're sitting behind a computer and shitting on women, it's not gonna do anything. Like, actually get up and start protesting if you want things to change, because nothing's gonna change if you just sit on your ass. Like, I mean, I don't, like, he also says he doesn't believe in marriage or whatever, and he just
Oh my god, seriously? Does he not believe in marriage? Is he that, like, bad? I have so many clips of me and other people pissing him off, it's funny. Oh my god. Wait, did fake Ghetto 2 Mad disappear after 2 Mad did? No, Ghetto 2 Mad's still around. He'll come around if the topic interests him. He's around. Ghetto 2 Mad got mad at me. He thought my Yandere dev video was bad. He like DM'd me. He was like, I think your Yandere video dev video was bad. And then he like blocked me. But like a week earlier, he was like, I think the video's good. Do not add that incredibly insane person. George is fine and we can go to his channel, but that's it.
To do whatever he wants, lefty garbage. But again, I guess the gist of his channel is that, oh, he doesn't have a label, he's himself. I don't want to be in a box, I just shit on women and lefties, even though I'm into Fuda. Like, okay, sure. Like, dude, he tries to defend himself from Fuda instead of just taking responsibility. Like, oh, I don't actually want to suck the ding-dong. I just look at art with dongs and big balls.
Oh my god.
And he blames the media for his fetish. Like, sure, it can influence you, but you're the one who kept looking at it instead of just looking away. You're obviously into it, man, and that's very, very, very weird. And he also tries to give the, oh, but it's not real argument. Yeah, it's not real, but you're still looking at this kind of art. It's like the lolly art. Oh, but it's not real. But yeah, but you're still taking the time to look at little girls. Yes, it's not real, but that doesn't mean you're not degenerate for looking at this type of art. This is the stuff Vosh is getting called out for because it's disgusting. The Act Man and Synthetic Man ship is coming into reality. It's only a matter of time and souls. I don't know where else to go with this. I mean, where can I go? I just figured out that one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, like, likes to suck dick. Sorry, that was way out of line. Like, what is there to say? I feel like crying.
Oh my god. Yeah, comparing Fuda to Lolly is wild. Yeah, I think those are in like two very different categories and have nothing in common with one another. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to put the mods on like high alert for this. Okay, so here's the thing, George. I don't mind people disagreeing. It's the ability to like actually have a discussion and engage with the conversation, right? Like that's the thing, right? The problem with a lot, and it kind of just happens with political tube. There's some that like engage with it and others that don't. The issue is that people just don't want to have discussions, period. Okay? And I've always been of the assumption that you should be able to. I think those are good. there are plenty of people that don't, and it's really fucking annoying. And I think it's really bad for politics or meeting in the middle or coming to actionable things, right? It works better when both sides can reach actionable conclusions, because that's how democracy works. But if like political tube is sitting around and like not talking to each other, what kind of message are you sending to like the next generation? So then we're just gonna have a bunch of radicals sitting on both sides yelling at each other, not having real discussions with each other. Like, what's the fucking point? Like, there's no point of even like bringing those things up. Like, there's no point on politics should be argued only on a live stream inside a circus tent. Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff on stream is like it's performative, right? Yeah, that's why like Hassan will have discussions with people, but he doesn't really have hard discussions, and that makes things really frustrating because of how much reach Hassan has, and that's what's always bothered me about him. You know, it's like you need a kind of like if you're going to be that kind of person who's like the political person, you need to actually cut your teeth sometimes, right? And it's like I used to do work in politics, right? I've talked about it before. During 2016, I worked in like libertarian politics. I saw Milo Yiannopoulos speak. That's how based I was. That's how based I was. But like over time, I just grew out of it. And again, like I said, I did like canvassing and like recruitment. I was part of like an organization called Young Americans for Liberty. So I did a lot of that shit. Did you donate to Milo? The world needs to know how base you were. So I snuck into his speech. We snuck in because it was like too crowded. So, and it was during that time where he's talking about like why hazing on campus is like actually cool. Again, Diesel, Milo is a Fed, so your conscience is clear. Yeah, so, and then after that, I did canvassing, and I was in Massachusetts. And then I got in, like, this was when I was, like, in college, but I did get paid for that stuff, because they were trying to, like, groom me to be political. So from that point on, I had, like, kind of moved out of it to esports. And then I got laid, and then I stopped being so right wing. That was really it. And it wasn't like, you know, the coochie made me left wing and I was like down bad. I probably was, but a lot of it is that I got exposed to a lot of different people that weren't that way. And I got exposed to a wider variety of people. And when I got exposed to a wider variety of people, my perception on different people changed, right? And that made a huge difference. You know, it was really funny, actually. When I did the Young Americans for Liberty stuff, and I was going back and I was, like, looking at our group chat from when I did that, and we were just, like, mad racist. Like, actually just racist. And the funny part is that there were 2 white guys in the group, and then the rest were all first-generation Hispanic Americans. That immigrated here from countries like Bolivia, Venezuela, places in South America. I was the only Caribbean Hispanic, but the rest of them were like all from South America, which I think is interesting and was why I make all those jokes, because it just seems to be the case. I don't know why. It just is. Yeah, you moved to the thing, only more cringe than politics, esports. Yeah, so yes. Like, okay, I enjoyed esports a lot. I was good at it. I knew how to pick teams. I focused on League of Legends management. And that was based. But I left to go to film school. So can you post the Discord, please? George, it's filled with gay people. I'm very certain you won't like it. If you stick around for other topics, I will put the link to the Discord. Okay? That goes for everybody. But I don't want it to turn into like an absolute shit fest. And obviously, given what sort of gay people, that's the kind of questions I don't want to be answering. Right? Be normal or else. Yeah, I'm not adding people, guys. I'm mostly normal. Yeah. Yeah, that's the question. If you come back to other streams, that's the question. Yeah. Okay, so I'll get an invite if I continue to be here and normal. Sweet. So that means you're crazy. But yeah, I used to do shit in politics. Like, I don't know. Like, I think you need to be that way as a young person a little bit, but as you get older, you kind of like mellow out. Yo. Diesel, Starshine has been here before. Yeah, but I can't drop a link in chat right now. So, no. Final answer. Do not pass go. But, yeah, I mean, I've been on both sides. And unironically, memes aside, Synthetic Man, this is a message to you. Okay? I don't know if it's going to be a debate, a discussion, whatever. Let's talk. I want to know your beliefs. Okay? This only works if we can come to the same, like, we can come to some understanding. And I think you need it. I don't like porn discords. It's to the point me and Carl Sama got deleted the porn channel on Synthetic Man's Discord and we got banned. So you guys were mods. You guys were mods? He had a porn channel in his Discord? Interesting. Interesting. We convinced a Gooner mod to do so. Okay, so you're just active community members. This has been a wild stream. It has been a wild stream. But that yeah. I've obviously said pretty antagonistic things. So have you, Synthetic Man, in my opinion. But he never used Discord. I saw that on a post. That's complete baloney. I don't believe that for a fucking second. I don't believe that for a second. But if he's really that anti to like having any discussion, like what the fuck kind of hope is there for him in anything? You know? It's just gonna be people yelling at each other in YouTube videos. He's not gonna get anything out of it. Like, he won't receive any wins from that whatsoever. Like, who the fuck is going to take him seriously? Like, he seems passionate about politics. He should just fucking talk. Like, to someone. He should get political. Actually get political. You know? Shit. He'll probably lose, by the way. That's just how it is. But debates get clipped into, like, 5-10 second TikToks anyway. Probably have a talk with Carl Sam. Yeah, I can't help but joke at the Sands guy who's wearing the Weissmark helmet. But Carl Sama is the Sans Undertale Nazi we saw. So Sin's not in there. Okay. I find that very strange. Sans Undertale, no Nazi. But sorry, I'm eating like trail mix, okay? I had like one meal today, alright? This cut's kicking my ass. I gotta stop there. I'll keep eating if I stream all night. I keep going, but you know, I think I kind of exhausted it. But yeah, I'm going to bed. What a wild night, chat. What a wild night. All right, and thank you to the weird ass lore master. That was fucking crazy. Good night.